Hi, welcome back guys. This is your friend, the fanfiction guy. Back with another fanfiction. This is the first part of What if Harem Deku was Secret Prince? Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. Izuku was in Momo's room, kneeling as she expressed her frustration over his reckless behavior. Momo, Izuku Midoriya, do you have any idea how worried I was when you were taken to recovery, girl? She whispered angrily, crossing her arms. I'm sorry, love. You know I can't just stand by while All Might fights alone when I can help, Izuku replied, his voice filled with sincerity. Momo sighed, knowing he was right. Still, how could you? What if you got seriously hurt? I can't imagine life without you, Izuku. Her voice trembled as she fought back tears. Izuku stood up and embraced her gently. But I didn't get hurt, right? I'm sorry, love, but I can't just let someone suffer when I could save them. Just promise me you won't do that again, she pleaded. I can't promise you that, he admitted. Then promise me you won't get seriously injured, or I swear I'll be furious with you, Momo threatened, her eyes fierce. Izuku nodded, aware of the intensity of her feelings. How about this? I'll ask Nizu for a break and we can spend a week at the palace with our parents. Just the two of us. Momo hesitated. But our classmates will notice if we leave together. What about everyone else? I can leave a note in the morning and you can say goodbye to them. I'll wait for you outside you. If the others want to join us, we can invite them after 3 days to avoid suspicion. That sounds like a plan, Momo agreed. Great. You can pack your things for tomorrow while I talk to Nizu, he said, standing up to kiss her softly, cupping her cheeks. I love you, you know that, right? I'd do anything for you. I know, and I love you too. Now go, she replied, kissing him once more before he slipped out of her window, careful not to be seen leaving a girl's room. In Nizu's office, Izuku knocked on the wooden door and heard a faint, "Come in." Upon entering, he was greeted by the smiling chimera. Ah, oh prince, do you need something? Nizu asked, bowing slightly. Yes, I wanted to ask if my fiancé and I could have a week off to visit our parents. Of course, prince. I was planning to announce a week off for the students anyway to give everyone a break. Thank you, Nizu. And please, just call me Izuku. I may be a prince, but I'm also a student here. Of course, Izuku. Aren't you bringing your other girlfriends with you? No. I don't want to raise any suspicion among my classmates. Maybe after 3 days, they can join us, Izuku replied as he made his way back to the dorms, where he was immediately approached by Uraraka. Deku, where have you been? Just outside, getting some fresh air, he said, knowing it was half the truth. I see. Can I talk to you for a second outside? Sure, just let me grab some water. There you are, Midori. I need your help for a minute, Mina interrupted, pulling Izuku away before Uraraka could protest. What do you need help with? He asked. The arithmetic sequence. I'm struggling and Momo is busy, Shoto's sleeping, and Ida is too strict. You're my only hope. Okay, just let me grab my notebook. Please hurry, Mina urged. As he headed to his room, he was suddenly confronted by an upset Kyoka. Can you explain why you broke your bones? Nijire chimed in. Izuku, how many times do we have to tell you to be careful? They both began to lightly hit him on the head, tears in their eyes. I'm sorry. The Nomu was about to attack All Might. Still, you need to be more cautious. Kyoka insisted. Have you thought about how we would feel if we lost you? Nijire added. Izuku hugged both girls tightly, feeling their fear. I promise to be more careful. How about you come with us after 3 days? It will be a nice getaway. Where are we going? Nijire asked, curious. To visit my country. It needs its prince, he replied with a smile. All right then, Kyoka agreed, and both girls accepted his invitation. As he kissed them goodbye, Kyoka asked, why do you want to leave? It hasn't even been 5 minutes. Do you have something to do? Nijire added. Mina asked me to tutor her. I felt bad declining since she said I was her only hope, Izuku explained. Okay, just don't stay up too late, Nijire warned. And what time are you and Momo leaving tomorrow? Kyoka inquired. I'll leave a note before the guys wake up, and Momo will say goodbye after I've left, he assured them. Sounds like a plan. I love you, Kyoka said. Yeah, love you Izu, Nijire added. I love you too girls, he replied, hugging and kissing them one last time before heading downstairs. Mina was waiting for him, looking impatient. Finally. What took you so long? Sorry, I had trouble finding my notebook, he apologized as they began their tutoring session. An hour later, both felt tired. Thanks, Midori. I totally get it now, Mina said, stretching her arms. It was no problem. Now I need to rest. Good night, Izuku replied. Good night to you too, Midori, Mina said, deciding to ask the girls if they wanted to have a slumber party. They all agreed and headed to Momo's room, where there was plenty of space. Guys, let's play Truth or Dare, Mina suggested. All the girls agreed, and they spun the bottle, which landed on Uraraka. Mina, Uraraka, Truth or Dare? Since I want a little thrill, I choose Dare. Uraraka replied confidently. Mina smirked mischievously. I dare you to tell us your crush. All the girls leaned in with eager smiles. Uraraka blushed and confessed, It's Deku. I was going to tell him today, but you called him. Mina felt a pang of guilt for interrupting Uraraka's moment. The girls squealed, except for two who wore shocked expressions that caught the attention of the others. Mina, why do you two look like you've seen a ghost? It's not like you didn't expect this, did you? The two girls exchanged glances and nodded mentally. Momo, we're just surprised, and no, we didn't expect this. Kyoka, yeah, I thought it would be Ida who you would fall for. Uraraka, Ida's a nice guy, but he's not my type, and he's too strict for his own good. The rest of the girls nodded in agreement and continued playing. Uraraka, Momo. Truth or Dare? Momo. Truth. Uraraka, do you have a boyfriend? As she asked, Momo began to blush, prompting the girls to squeal in excitement. Momo, Weiss. But what makes you ask me that? Uraraka, the way you look at guys, it seems like you're not interested. Mina, so. Who's the lucky guy? Momo thought, since they don't know Izuku is the Prince of Europe, I might as well tell them, it's the Prince. Momo, the Prince of Europe. The girls squealed again, exclaiming how lucky she was. However, they remembered that the Prince of Europe always wore a mask. Mina, so did you see the prince's face? Momo, of course. Mina, how did you two end up together? Momo, it was an arranged marriage at first, which I agreed to since I saw that the prince had a good heart. But he declined, saying that if he were to be my first boyfriend, he would court me like a normal person would, and he wanted me to experience being courted. As she spoke, the girls squealed with excitement and looked at her with envy. Lucky. So how long did he court you? Momo, a year. He said that before I answered him, he wanted me to get to know him more, as he also wanted to get to know me. Tsu, why did it take that long though? Momo, in the 3rd month of his courting, I told him I already liked him, but he didn't stop until New Year's when I told him I loved him, and as the fireworks exploded, we shared a kiss, and he told me he loved me too. Momo blushed as she recalled the memories. Mina, wow, he really liked you if he was willing to wait that long. How did he court you though? Momo, Filipino style. You know how Filipinos sing songs to the person they are courting outside their window and write notes or poems sometimes. Mina Turu, so romantic. I wish I could meet a guy like that. Tsuyu, so he doesn't care if he's a prince or from a royal family, he wants to make you feel loved and special. Momo, that's right. He never brags about being a prince. He treats everyone fairly and treats me like a queen. The girls squealed again, and Momo's face turned as red as a tomato from blushing too hard. Mina, let's continue our game. They spun the bottle and it landed on Turu. Momo, truth or dare Turu? Turu, truth. Momo, do you have someone special? Turu, in a romantic way? Momo, yes. Turu, sorry but no. The girls responded with an at her answer and spun the bottle again, landing on Jairu. Turu, Kyoka, truth or dare? Kyoka, truth. Toru, do you have a boyfriend? Kyoka blushed at the question. Kyoka, oh, dare. I choose dare. Toru, I dare you to tell us who your boyfriend is. The girls cheered as Momo looked at her with wide eyes. Kyoka thought, they don't know the owner of M Company, so I might as well tell them. Kyoka, do you know the owner of M Company? Toru, the biggest company in the world? Mina, the multi-trillionaire company? Tsu, that is owned by a guy our age? Jairu, yes. Uraraka, no, we don't know him. But Momo, do you know him? Uraraka asked Momo, who shook her head and lied. Momo, sorry, but even my family doesn't. Jairu, well, the owner is my boyfriend. The girls gasped in surprise. Girls, what? How? Jairu, it turns out my parents know the parents of the owner and kind of arranged a marriage between us, just like Momo. Mina, wow, you're dating a multi-trillionaire while Momo is dating a prince. I'm so jealous of you both. They giggled and continued playing until they grew tired, grabbing their sleeping bags and saying goodnight to each other before falling asleep. Time skipped to morning. Momo was seen walking downstairs with a suitcase. She was about to leave when the girls noticed her and asked, Tsu, where are you going? Momo, oh, you guys are up already. Mina, hey, don't change the subject. Where are you going, girl? Momo blushed before answering. Momo, to see my fiancé and spend time with my parents. Girls, what? Every girl exclaimed, including Jairu, to avoid suspicion. Jairu, you have a fiancé and didn't tell us? I thought you two were still boyfriend and girlfriend. Toru, I thought we were best friends? If the girls weren't looking, Momo would have probably laughed at how Jairu said that. Momo, it kind of slipped my mind? And you all asked if I have a boyfriend, not a fiancé. The girls were about to reply when they heard Momo's driver call out to her. She quickly said goodbye to avoid more questions. Uraraka, Momo really likes to keep everything a secret, doesn't she? Jairu, Bakugo, where the heck is Deku? We need a rematch. Bakugo said as he made his way toward his classmates, searching for Izuku. Mina, maybe he's still sleeping, be quiet, will you? As Mina said that, Bakugo stormed into Izuku's room, exploding and kicking down the door. His classmates followed him, startled by the explosion. Ida, what the hell are you doing, Bakugo? Bakugo, where's the nerd? As he said this, everyone looked around the room until Toru spotted a note on the table. Toru, hey guys, I think Midoriya left. There's a note here. Mina, let me read it. The note read, hey guys, if you're seeing this note, Bakugo probably blew up my door. Anyways, I left early today to visit my mom and dad. I'll be gone for a week and please fix my door. Sincerely, Izuku. Everyone except Todoroki and Bakugo sighed at their cinnamon roll's absence. Mineta began searching Izuku's room for his secret stash. Kirishima, what are you doing, Mineta? Mineta, looking for Midoriya's stash. Mina, I'm pretty sure Midoriya doesn't watch that kind of stuff. Toru, agreed, because unlike you, he's not a pervert. Mineta kept searching until he spotted 2 suitcases under Izuku's bed. He pulled it out, opened it, and what he saw left him speechless. Hey, what are you holding, grape hair? Bakugo asked. Mineta replied, I thought it was a stash of adult content, but it turns out Midoriya wrote this. Everyone turned their heads toward Mineta. Yeah, right. As if that nerd could sing, Bakugo scoffed. Then let's listen to it. Mina suggested. Ida interjected, we already barged into his room without permission. Now you want to invade his privacy? That's very unheroic. Mina grinned, all hands up if you want to hear Midoriya's music. Everyone raised their hands except Ida, who shook his head in disappointment. See, even Bakugo raised his hand. Mina exclaimed. I only raised my hand to prove that extra can't sing, Bakugo retorted. They all made their way downstairs, while Jairu silently hoped they wouldn't find a song dedicated to her or the other girls. I'll pick a song first, Mina declared as she spotted one that caught her eye. Hey guys, there's a love song here called Thinking Out Loud. Maybe it's dedicated to you, Ochako. Uraraka blushed, while Jairu raised an eyebrow, unsure whether to laugh or feel sorry for her, knowing the song was likely for Momo and that their class was about to discover that. Mina inserted the disc into the DVD player connected to the TV, and everyone was shocked to see Izuku with a guitar, revealing a talent they never expected. When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off your feet, will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? And darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23. And I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just the touch of a hand. Oh, I fall in love with you every single day. And I just want to tell you I am. As Izuku said this, every girl began squealing and tugging at Uraraka, who turned crimson, thinking the song was for her. All the girls, except Jairu, exclaimed how lucky she was, while the guys, except Ida, Bakugo, and Todoroki, commented on how manly Izuku was. So honey now, take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud. Maybe we found love right where we are. When my hair's all but gone and my memory fades. And the crowds don't remember my name. When my hands don't play the strings the same way. I know you will. Uraraka clutched her hands tightly, her heart racing as she faced the challenge ahead. The atmosphere was charged with tension, and she could feel the weight of her determination pushing her forward. With each step, she focused on her goal, ready to prove herself and support her friends. The stakes were high, but she was resolute, her spirit unyielding. The video showed Izuku with his monkey friends, causing everyone to snicker. Today, I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to lay in my bed. I don't feel like picking up my phone, so leave a message at the tone. Who beat Jairu's dad in the rankings? Nijair smiled, yeah, he's my boyfriend. The girls gasped in surprise. Mina asked, how did you meet him? Nijair continued, you know my family, right? They own the biggest entertainment agency in America. The girls nodded, eager to hear more. Nijair explained, our parents are quite close, so they arranged a marriage for us when we were younger. My dad offered Green Bean a contract for the agency. I met him when I got lost in America. He helped me find my way back. It turned out we lived next to each other. One night, my parents invited them over and announced our engagement. Mina sighed, lucky. Setsuna teased, what about you, Yui? I don't mean to offend, but you're kind of antisocial. How did you get a boyfriend? Yui rolled her eyes. My family owns the biggest law firm in France. My boyfriend is a lawyer, and our parents are close too. And before you accuse him of anything, he's around our age. Uraraka interjected, then how did he become a lawyer? Yui replied, perks of being rich. He skipped a few grades and studied at home in advance. Mina pressed, what's his name? How did you meet him? Yui smirked, I'm not telling you his name. Our parents arranged a marriage for us as well. So you chimed in, just like Momo, Kyoka, and Nijair-senpai. What about you, Ibra? Ibra smiled. My boyfriend is a cardiologist who owns several hospitals in different countries. We were childhood friends, and like Yui, he skipped a few grades and studied at home. I met him in Spain, and we were arranged to be married too. Mina exclaimed, lucky girls. You get to marry a millionaire. The perks of being rich. Pony asked, if you could choose, would you cancel the engagement? Jairu shook her head. No, because he's the smartest and kindest person I've ever met. Just like Momo's fiancé, he courted me and treated me like royalty, which is a rare trait to find. Nijair asked, what do you mean, the same as Momo's fiancé? Jairu replied, I mean he also waited for me. Nijair nodded in understanding. Mina asked, what about you, senpai? Nijair said, I wouldn't cancel it either. Unlike other boys, he loves me for who I am, not just my appearance. Just like Momo and Jairu, he courted me and treated me like a queen. He remembers every little thing about me, he's just perfect. As Nijair sighed dreamily, the other girls felt a pang of jealousy for her, Kyoka and Momo. Kaneko asked, What about you, Yui? Yui replied, I wouldn't cancel it either. Our parents may have arranged it, but over time, we developed feelings for each other. He treats me like a queen, and I know his feelings for me are genuine. The girls cooed, oh. Uraraka turned to Ibra, what about you? Ibra said, even if I had a choice, I wouldn't cancel the arrangement. I've had a crush on him since we were little. He's always there to protect me, like my knight in shining armor, an angel who brings light to my darkness. The girls squealed again. Mina teased, you guys make me jealous. Your boyfriends are just like Momo's fiancé, Midoriya. He may always break his bones, but he doesn't care as long as he protects his queen. Uraraka added, yeah, that's why I love him. He saved everyone at the USJ and took down the Nomu. The two girls exchanged glances, knowing that Uraraka deserved to be ignored for her plans, while the others froze in surprise. Ibra asked, what do you mean he saved you all? Mina replied, oh, you guys weren't informed? Ibra shook her head. Tsuyu explained, we were attacked at the USJ. If it wasn't for Midoriya, we would have been in serious trouble since the Nomu had 4 quirks. Yui gasped, what? The girls looked at her in shock. Mina continued, yeah, the thing was huge and really dangerous. Even All Might couldn't beat it. As she spoke, Jiru sighed and stood up. Excuse me for a moment, I'll just grab more drinks from the kitchen. Yui, Nijire, and Ibra quickly stood up. We'll help. The rest of the girls exchanged confused glances. Mina asked, okay, what's up with them? Kendo shrugged, I don't know. Anyway, let's put on a movie. The girls nodded while the 4 in the kitchen were deep in conversation. Jiru leaned against the wall, trying to listen in. Ibra asked, so what's this about Izuku breaking his bones? When are you planning to tell us? Jiru replied, he saw the Nomu about to attack All Might, so he stepped in. When we meet Izuku in Europe, that's when I plan to tell you guys. Yui asked, so he saved that thing too? Jiru nodded. Yeah, even if it was a menace, he saved it. Nijire added, I don't understand why he saved it, considering it's the reason she's in a coma right now. Ibra said, could you stop calling him it? That feels wrong. Nijire agreed, right? We should call him a monster since he truly is one. Jiru asked, how did he even get into the hero course? Yui speculated, Yue probably didn't look at that monster's record. Ibra said, that monster could have killed her. Yue shouldn't allow him here. Yui nodded, I guess the standards at Yue have dropped. Ibra pressed, and stop changing the subject, Kyoka. How is he? Yui added, and why didn't you tell us? Kyoka replied, he's fine now. And we didn't tell you because we knew you would worry and definitely barge in here, which we can't allow since we're still keeping it low-key, remember? Then why does Nijire know? Nijire, Principal Nizu informed me, so I kind of cornered Kyoka, and she let me see Izuku because she knows I won't stop bothering her. Kyoka, you can scold him when we see him in 3 days. For now, let's go grab those drinks. They quickly grabbed the drinks and returned to the common room. Mina, what took you so long? Jiru, we had a bit of trouble finding the drinks. Anyway, what are you all watching? Mina, The Notebook. Ibra, I love that movie. My boyfriend and I recreated that scene where Ali and Noah lay in the street when we went to the countryside. Mina, stop talking about your boyfriend, you're making me jealous and reminding me how single I am. Ibra, sorry. Kendo, sit down, everyone. After the movie ended, they turned off the TV, grabbed their sleeping bags, and settled in for the night. Time skip morning. Some of the girls woke up to find the teachers looking at them, which made them scream in surprise. The sight of the teachers startled the remaining girls awake as well. Aizawa, why are you all here? Mina, we had a sleepover, sensei. Vlad King, next time you have a sleepover, please inform us. You nearly gave us a heart attack, I thought you were kidnapped. Kendo, sorry Vlad sensei. We'll let you know next time. Aizawa, now hurry up, take a shower, eat, and get dressed. Be in the auditorium by 10 a.m. or you're expelled. The girls quickly got ready, realizing the time was 9:30 a.m. Auditorium. Everyone made their way to their seats as Nizu picked a random name from the box. The four girls silently prayed that none of their songs would be chosen. Nizu, recovery girl, please make your way upstairs and pick a song. Recovery girl picked a random song, and to the girls' luck, Kyoka's song was chosen. RG, I picked this song, it's called Stereo Hearts. Jairu immediately blushed, recalling the song Izuku had sung to her. Just as the girls were about to question Jairu's blush, the video started. Izuku was seen with a guitar outside, tossing a stone at a window. The window opened to reveal Kyoka, and he smiled at her as she smiled back, a blush on her cheeks. Meanwhile, Mr. and Mrs. Jairu watched from a distance, smiling as well. Mina, hey, isn't that Mr. and Mrs. Jairu? So that means the person in the window is. Girls, okay? Jairu blushed even more when the girls mentioned her name, shushing them and promising to explain after the song. My heart's a stereo. It beats for you, so listen closely. Hear my thoughts in every note. Make me your radio. Turn me up when you feel low. This melody was meant for you. Just sing along to my stereo. If I were just another dusty record on the shelf, would you overlook me and play me like everyone else? If I asked you for a favor, could you manage that? Like it read well, check it Kyoka, I can handle that. Furthermore, I apologize for skipping tracks. The last girl who played me left a couple cracks. I used to dwell on the past, but now I'm over that. Holding grudges over love is just an ancient artifact. If I could only find a note to make you understand, I'd sing a song and capture you with my hand. Keep me stuck inside your head, like your favorite tune. And know my heart is a stereo, the only place for you. My heart's a stereo. It beats for you, so listen closely. Hear my thoughts in every note. Make me your radio. Turn me up when you feel low. This melody was meant for you. Just sing along to my stereo. Oh, to my stereo. Oh, so sing along to my stereo. Let's go. If I weren't old school, a 50-pound boombox, would you carry me on your shoulder wherever you walk? Would you turn my volume up before the cops arrive? And crank it higher every time they told you to hide? All I ask is that you don't get mad at me. Will you have to buy some batteries? Appreciate every mixtape your friends make. You never know how fleeting life can be, like a highway brake. I think I finally found a note to make you understand. If you can hear it, sing along and take me by the hand. Keep me stuck inside your head, like your favorite tune. And know my heart is a stereo, the only place for you. My heart's a stereo. It beats for you, so listen closely. Hear my thoughts in every note. Make me your radio. Turn me up when you feel low. This melody was meant for you. Just sing along to my stereo. Oh, to my stereo. Oh, so sing along to my stereo. I only pray you never leave me behind, because your music can be so hard to find. I take your hand and pull it closer to mine. Our love is everlasting, a bond in my mind. My heart's a stereo. It beats for you, so listen closely. Hear my thoughts in every note. Make me your radio. Turn me up when you feel low. This melody was meant for you. Just sing along to my stereo. Oh, to my stereo. Oh, so sing along to my stereo. Mr. J, good song, son. Mr. Jairu said as he and his wife approached him. Kyoka was blushing madly at the window and quickly made her way downstairs to hug Izuku. Izuku, thanks, Mr. J. Mr. J, hey, how many times do I have to say, call me dad? You called Mr. Yayaro's a dad, so call me dad as well. Mrs. J, and call me mom. Izuku, okay, mom and dad. Kyoka giggled as she still clung to Izuku, which made her parents laugh while Izuku turned beet red. As the song finished, everyone's attention turned to Kyoka, who was currently blushing. Mina, so, mind telling us? Why did you and Momo lie? Kyoka, technically, we didn't lie. Toru, what do you mean you didn't? Then what was that video about? Kyoka, well, Midoriya is the owner of M Company as well as the Prince of Europe, so we didn't lie. Tsuyu, yeah, you didn't. You just kept the information to yourself. Girls, what? So Midoriya is a trillionaire? Yurarika, is that why you both looked like ghosts when I told you I had a crush on Deku? Jairu, yes and yes. Let's talk later. for now, let's continue, right Mr. Nizu? Nizu, yes. Nizu picked another random name, and Tetsu was chosen. Nizu, Mr. Tetsu. Please pick a song. Kirishima, pick a manly song, bro. Tetsu. Definitely I choose this one, it's called Lighters. He said as he handed the CD to Nizu and went back to his chair. The video played, and Izuku was seen at a hospital with a red-haired girl in a hospital bed, life support hooked up to her. Izuku, I'm back, my red princess. It's been a month now, and I miss your voice, your hugs, and your kisses. Izuku said as he gently kissed the girl on the forehead. Two adults walked in and saw the scene, which made them both sad. Toru, hey, isn't that the king and queen of Asia? Mina, it is them. Oh my gosh, does Izuku know them? Just how many of you are dating him, Jiru? Drew, you'll know when the time comes. For now, be quiet. Mr. V, how are you holding up, Sonny? Izuku, I'm still looking for the culprit because I know this isn't an accident, King. Mr. V, how many times do I have to tell you to call me Dad? Stop calling me King, you will become a king someday too, you know. Since you're the only child of Inko and Hisashi, you'll rule both Asia and Europe, and I'm sure you were planning to marry Stella. Mrs. V, and call me Mom. Izuku, okay, Mom and Dad. Izuku pulled out his guitar from the case. Izuku, do you mind if I sing her a song I made for her? Mr. V, of course not, Sonny, we want to listen too. I'm sure she can hear it, and she'll definitely love it. This one's for you and me, living out our dreams. We're all right where we should be. With my arms out wide, I open my eyes, and now all I want to see is a sky full of lighters. A sky full of lighters. By the time you hear this, I will have already risen up. I would never do anything to let anyone ruin my world. If I were you, I would duck or get struck like lightning. Fighters keep fighting. Put your lighters up and point them skyward. I had a dream I was king. I woke up, still king. This rap game is mine for the taking. Until nobody else even feels me, until it kills me, I swear to God I'll be the best in this music. There is or ever will be. Disagree? Feel free, but from now on, I'm refusing to ever give up. The only thing I ever gave up was making excuses. Excuse me if my head is too big for this building, and pardon me if I'm a bit cocky, but you all are slick. Talking about how you turned your life around, it's nonsense. Who are you trying to fool? You stayed the same because, backward, you're still the same. I love it when I tell them to shove it, because it wasn't that long ago when I struggled. I couldn't muster anything. My mind was fuzzy, but now you wonder why I do this, how I do this. Wasn't because I had vultures circling around waiting for me to fail, was it? Or was it because they wrote me off? It doesn't matter now, does it? What difference does it make? What will it take to get through your thick skulls? People don't usually come back from a dark place just to reach this point. Now let these words be like a switchblade to a hater's ribcage. Let it be known from this day forward, I want to say thanks because your hate gave me strength. So let them talk because I came with confidence, but I feel like I'm on top of the world. This one's for you and me, living out our dreams. We're all right where we should be. With my arms out wide, I open my eyes, and now all I want to see is a sky full of lighters. A sky full of lighters. By the time you hear this, I'll probably be long gone. I advance like going from carrying burdens to buying my friends nice things. My father told me to slow down, I'm going to blow it. And I don't need to stop the beat to tell Shady I love him the same way he did Dr. Dre. I want him to know how real he is and how I would do anything for him to understand that. I've shed plenty of tears. My father has had his struggles. So it's only right that I keep going until he can walk right into that post office and tell them to hang it up. Now his career is like a legendary jersey. I'll stop when I'm at the very top. You look down on me on your way up, it's about to be a scary drop because what goes up must come down. Every hour is happy hour now, life is unpredictable. I used to have to struggle to get by, but now I'm thriving. I remember when others didn't want to work with me. My car starts itself, parks itself, and auto-tunes because now I'm in a luxury vehicle. I went from being overlooked to being treated like a star, and now I'm fantastic compared to before. You all are in for a surprise. I remember signing my first deal, and now I'm the second best, and I can deal with that. Now others can shine without needing awards. You and I know what it's like to be knocked down, forced to fight, but tonight we're all right. So hold up your light, let it shine. Because this one's for you and me, living out our dreams. We're all right where we should be. With my arms out wide, I open my eyes, and now all I want to see is a sky full of lighters. A sky full of lighters. Izuku, I'm right where I should be, Jaime, by your side, waiting for you to wake up. I promise to find the person who did this and ensure they face the consequences. Izuku said as he gritted his teeth. Everyone saw this and felt a bit uneasy. Mina, Midoriya is kind of overprotective, isn't he? He is. Hey, Mineta, remember that time when you tried to peek through the locker? There were red dots all over your head. Mineta, Jairu, those were from the security detail Izuku hired to protect us. Everyone, except the teachers, who already knew what. Mineta, that's a lie, right? Jairu, no, you should be thankful I only poked you in the eye because if you had peeked, you would be in serious trouble. Ida, isn't it illegal to hire security like that? Jairu, no, and as you heard, he is the next king of both Asia and Europe, plus he asked Nizu for permission. Mina, how many did he hire? Jairu, I think 10 for each of us. Everyone looked at her with wide eyes and turned their heads to Nizu to confirm if it was true. Nizu nodded and the boys thought, note to self, don't mess with Midoriya or his friends. Mr. V, do you still think this was intentional? Izuku, yes, from the bruises I saw, it's from a quirk. As he said that, 2 men in black suits entered the room and bowed to them. Izuku, so, have you found anything? One. Yes, Your Highness, your hunch was right. This was intentional, and the school covered it up to make it look like an accident. As BSM-1 spoke, the parents were furious, and Izuku was trying his best to contain his anger. Izuku, who did this to my princess? BSM-2, his name is Bakugo Katsuki. Mr. V, so the school hid the truth from us. V, they shall face the consequences for their actions. Izuku, hey Mom and Dad, can I please take care of this? I'll ensure that the school never opens again, and I'll deal with Bakugo. He won't reach his dreams, and as for the teachers, they'll learn a lesson for covering up what their student did. Katsuki Bakugo, I'll make sure you never achieve your goals. Mr. V, very well my boy. Don't let anyone escape. Izuku, of course Dad. I'll make sure all the teachers are held accountable. Mrs. V, they will face the consequences for the rest of their lives. The 3 of them radiated a menacing aura that intimidated the 2 men in suits. Everyone shivered and looked at Bakugo. Bakugo, it wasn't me. Why would it be me? This made Jairu's anger flare. Jairu, it was you. You did this to her, and now she's in a coma because of you. She was held back by her classmates as angry tears streamed down her face. With Momo and Izuku. Momo and Izuku arrived in Europe after a long flight and were greeted by cameras outside Izuku's private jet. He smiled and intertwined his hand with Momo's as they were surrounded by their bodyguards and reporters. Reporter 1. It's good to see you again, Prince. Is she your girlfriend? Reporter 2. Are you 2 engaged? Izuku, I'm sorry, but I can't answer all of your questions right now. If you could gather at Times Square tonight, I'll share the details. Izuku flashed his signature million-watt smile, which made the reporters beam as they left with their bodyguards. Upon arriving at the massive castle, they were welcomed by their parents with warm hugs. Mr. Y. Son, how are you? I heard about what happened at USJ. Izuku, I'm good, Daddy Y. I'm just glad nothing bad happened to my future wives. As he said that, Momo immediately blushed, which made the parents smile. Inko, we were so worried, we almost flew to Japan. Mrs. Y, thank Kami you're all safe. Isashi, great job protecting your fiancé's son. Izuku, about that, dads, can I talk to you guys for a moment? Both dads nodded and smiled widely, knowing what their son was planning, which made the girls confused as they left for Hisashi's study. Mr. Y, so when are you going to propose? Izuku, tonight, Dad, at the end of my song. Hisashi, you know she's already your fiancé, why do you still want to propose? Izuku, Dad, a man proposing to his girl is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience for them, and I want Momo to be able to experience that. I want her to know that I choose to marry her, not just because of our engagement arranged by you guys. Both dads nodded their heads, and they went back to where the women were. Mrs. Y, what were you talking about that you left us? Izuku, sorry mommy Y, it's kind of a surprise. Inko, alright, son, you guys go to your room and we'll leave at 5 for the interview at Times Square. Both teens nodded and went to Izuku's room to rest. Time skipped to Times Square. The royal family had gathered in front while the Yaoyorosis were at the back, waiting for the surprise, as both parents couldn't stop smiling. Reporter 1. Prince, we would like to know if the girl you brought with you is your girlfriend? Izuku, yes, she is. Izuku said as he smiled widely, setting aside his nervousness. Reporter 2. So, when are you going to get married? As the reporter said this, Izuku immediately blushed as the crowd laughed at him. Izuku, maybe soon. As he said this, both Yaoyorosis looked at their daughter, laughing as Momo turned crimson red. Reporter 3. Where did you meet her? Izuku, our parents are close friends. Reporter 4. So it's an arranged marriage? Izuku, I don't really like the term you used, but yes. Reporter 5. Is the arrangement forced? Izuku, God, no. Inko, we won't allow the marriage if our son or the girl disagrees with this. Hisashi, we aren't monsters to force them to get married. Reporter 6. How can you know if you really love someone? Izuku, I know I love her when I got to know her, courted her, and when I dreamed of spending my whole life with her. The crowd awed at Izuku's statement, and he grabbed a guitar and walked in front of the crowd. Izuku, I made this song for her, and I kind of hope she likes it. He said nervously as Momo looked at him, full of love. 105 is the number that comes to my head. When I think of all the years I want to be with you. Wake up every morning with you in my bed. That's precisely what I plan to do. And you know one of these days, when I get my money right, buy you everything and show you all the finer things in life. Will forever be enough, so there ain't no need to rush. But one day, I won't be able to ask you loud enough. I'll say, will you marry me? I swear that I will mean it. I'll say, will you marry me? As he said that, he passed his guitar to his father and went to Momo, who had wide eyes as tears started pouring down her cheeks, her hand covering her mouth. How many girls in the world can make me feel like this? Baby, I don't ever plan to find out. The more I look, the more I find the reasons why. You're the love of my life. You know one of these days, when I get my money right, buy you everything and show you all the finer things in life. Will forever be enough, so there ain't no need to rush. But one day, I won't be able to ask you loud enough. I'll say, will you marry me? I swear that I will mean it. I'll say, will you marry me? And if I lost everything, in my heart it means nothing, 'cause I have you. Girl, I have you. To get right down on bended knee. Nothing else would ever be better. The day when I'll say, will you marry me? I swear that I will mean it. I'll say, will you marry me? He reached out to Momo's hand, which she gladly took as he led her up in front, making the crowd go wild. Got me singing. Got me singing. Would you marry me, baby? 105 is the number that comes to my head. When I think of all the years I want to be with you. Wake up every morning with you in my bed. That's precisely what I plan to do. Izuku got on one knee as Momo was still shocked by what was happening, while both mothers cried tears of joy, and the dads looked at Izuku with proud smiles. Izuku, baby, now that I got my money right, I can buy you all the finer things in life and whatever you want, without needing my parents' money. I want to ask you again, will you marry me? I know you already said yes to the engagement, but I want you to say yes not just in the engagement prepared by our parents, but when I am on one knee and holding a ring out for you. I know you still doubt that I want this engagement, so here I am in front of the whole crowd. I, Izuku Midoriya, Prince of Europe, would like to marry you, Momo Yaoyorozu, to prove that I love you so much. The whole of Europe and our parents are witnesses. So will you marry me, baby? Momo cried tears of joy as she nodded her head. Momo, yes, 1,000 times yes, darling. Everyone went wild after hearing this as the parents cried tears of joy. The teens hugged each other and shared a kiss as the crowd cheered even louder. They smiled at the crowd and made their way to the back. Inko, sobbing, "My baby boy just proposed." Mr. Y, "Took you long enough, son." Momo, "Wait, Dad, you knew?" Mr. Y, "Of course, he asked my permission. He even asked my permission with a song." Mrs. Y, sobbing, "I'm so happy right now. My little girl is engaged to a man she loves." Isashi, "Great job, son, you didn't stutter." They all chuckled at his joke and headed back to the castle. Meanwhile in Ua, "Bakugo, what are you talking about, earphone jack?" Jiru, "Stella Vermilion, doesn't she ring a bell?" "She's the one you and your friends targeted, but your principal covered it up." Aizawa, "What do you mean targeted, Jiru? Tell us the whole story." Jiru, "It was Friday when Stella sneaked out of the castle to see Japan for herself. While she was walking in front of Aldra High, she was attacked by that guy. They thought she was just another civilian, so the school immediately covered it up. When the police arrived, they claimed she was hit by a car and left alone. But Izuku noticed the bruise looked like it was caused by a quirk, so he hired 2 of the best detectives to investigate. Why do you think Aldra High was destroyed? And where do you think the teachers are?" Nizu, "Didn't tell me Izuku was the one who destroyed the school?" Jiru did. He asked his father-in-law, Momo's father, to assist him. Aizawa, "So that's how the school got shut down immediately. But what happened to the teachers?" Ju, "After they faced the wrath of the king and queen of Asia, they were dealt with by Izuku's pets, or should I say beasts." Everyone shivered, realizing how powerful and merciless Izuku was. Nizu, "Katsuki Bakugo, for committing a serious crime, you are hereby expelled from UA, and your name will be blacklisted across Japan." Ectoplasm, "I don't mean to go against your decision, sir, but aren't you rushing this?" Nizu, "You don't understand, do you? Experiencing the wrath of a royal family is already severe. Imagine angering 2 of the most powerful royal families. They could destroy us in an instant just by having Bakugo here." Jiro, "You're not wrong, Nizu. The school would have shut down on the first day, but Izuku showed mercy, so you better be thankful." Aizawa, "What will happen to Bakugo since he attacked a royal?" Just as Jiru was about to respond, the doors opened to reveal the king and queen of Asia with their knights. Everyone immediately bowed, except for the 4 girls, who approached them without hesitation, confusing everyone. The police also arrived with documents. "Police, where is Katsuki Bakugo?" Everyone pointed at Bakugo, who looked like he was about to cry as the police officers handcuffed him. "King, you will be placed in a cell in the palace, specially made for you." "Queen, you dared to harm the princess, now you'll face our consequences." Aizawa, "Could we please discuss this for a moment, your highnesses?" "King, there is nothing to discuss. We already have the accomplices from that day." "Queen, our son-in-law has gathered evidence against you, so no law, court, or even royal family can defend you." They spoke with an intimidating presence. Nizu couldn't help but ask. "Nizu, I'm sorry to be rude, your highnesses, but how did my students approach you so easily?" "King, we consider them like our own daughters since they date the same man as our daughter." "Queen, now that we have Bakugo, we'll be leaving. Take care, girls," the queen said as she hugged each girl, while the king smiled at them. "Bakugo, you extras. I was supposed to be the #1 hero." Jiru, "Yeah, I don't think so. Yui, even if you behaved well in the provincial license exam, you would still fail, little dog." Ibra, "Izuku made sure of it since the head of the Hero Association is his cousin. Nijire, and he also made sure you'll stay as a psychic for the rest of your life." The 3 girls looked down on him, laughing mischievously, scaring everyone while Ibra just shook her head. Jiru, "If you mess with one of us." Ibra, "Be prepared to face the wrath of royals." Nijire, "Izuku is an overprotective boyfriend. Better get ready to feel his consequences for what you did to Stella. King Queen, and our wrath too." All of them radiated an intimidating aura except for Ibra, who glowed with light. "King, we'll be taking our leave now. Goodbye, girls. Take care." They left with Bakugo, the knights, and the police, as everyone in the auditorium let out a sigh of relief. "Nizu, I think we should call it a day." Everyone nodded, still shocked by what had happened. When they returned to the dorms, the girls decided to gather again, and Mina couldn't help but shout. Mina, you guys are dating the same person. Setsuna, how could you lie to us? Toru, and let me guess, you'll say, technically we didn't lie because Midoriya is the lawyer, artist, and doctor, and you just kept the information to yourselves. Jairu, will tell you everything at the dorm, but asked the teachers first if they could allow us to have a sleepover again. Everyone nodded as they messaged their teachers, who replied with a simple, okay. Mina, so tell us everything now. At the Class 1A dorms. All of Class 1A gathered in the common room with the Class 1B girls and Nijire. Jairu, so what do you want to know? Mina, when did you all start dating the cinnamon roll? Ibra, well, me, Stella, Momo, and Yui started dating him a year ago, while Jairu and Nijire have been dating him for about 4 months now. The mentioned girls nodded their heads. True, so have you guys? You know? Ibra confused. Done what? Tsuyu, I think she means. You know. As she said this, 2 of the girls blushed and struggled to compose themselves, while the other 2 blushed slightly since they hadn't gone that far. Yui blushing, of course. Mineta gasped. So that was you guys? Ibra, what do you mean that was us? Kaminari, the noises Mineta heard in Midoriya's room. I thought he was lying when he said he heard 3 girls in there. I thought he was just being ridiculous since it's Midoriya, he's too innocent. Sato, looks like Midoriya isn't so innocent and a cinnamon roll. After all. Siro, more like a cinnamon roll. Mineta, I thought I was hallucinating when I asked them about it, and they accused me of being too much of a pervert. And you, Midoriya, having to touch this gorgeous woman's body. As he was about to finish his sentence, 40 red dots suddenly appeared on his body, causing the guys to look at him in shock and fear, tears of blood streaming from his eyes. I think you should watch that mouth of yours, Ibra warned. Like Jairu said, Zuzu is overprotective. Say something inappropriate about us, and it equals 1 bullet fired at you, Yui added. Note to self, don't talk inappropriately or mess with Midoriya's girls, Kirishima noted as the boys nodded in agreement. Mineta quickly asked for forgiveness as the dots disappeared. So, are you guys okay sharing him? Mina asked. Of course. His parents explained that Zuzu's quirk is too powerful, and 1 woman won't be enough to satisfy him. Plus, he treats us all like queens. Even though we date him together, or share him as you said, we still get to go on separate dates and receive the attention we want, Ibra replied. To be honest, you won't even feel like he has other girlfriends or fiancés. When he spends time with one of us, the conversation is always about us, not the others, Nijire added. And even in the songs he wrote for us, he always makes us feel special, like we're the only girl. So sharing him isn't really a big deal, Yui chimed in. Yeah, and he courted us all separately, Jairu said, blushing. Uraraka looked at them with a mix of anger and jealousy, while the other girls squealed with excitement, and the boys smiled at how the girls described their cinnamon roll. That's so manly of Midobro, Kirishima remarked. So how many girls is Midoriya dating right now? Mina asked. Oh, that's for us to know and for you to find out, Jairu teased. Hey, Ibra, we know how Jairu was courted. How about you? How did he court you? Tsuyu asked curiously. Ibra blushed, recalling how Izuku made their relationship official in front of the whole school when they were in London. You know I studied in London, right? When we were talking on the phone, Izuku overheard a boy asking if he could take me on a date. Of course, I said no, which seemed to anger him. During homeroom that afternoon, we heard girls squealing in the field about how handsome the green-haired guy was. I was curious since they mentioned a boy with green hair. Oh wait, I have a video. She pulled out her phone and showed them a video of Izuku standing in front of a field with a piano, a microphone in his right hand and a single rose in his left. Ibra Shizuki, would you please come to the front, darling? He called. Everyone looked at Ibra, making way for her as the girls shot her jealous glances, while the boys felt upset that the school princess already had a boyfriend. Ibra blushed deeply as she walked towards Izuku, who kissed her gently for a few seconds before handing her the rose. This is for you, darling. And to anyone planning to court her, I suggest you back off because she's mine, Izuku said with a protective tone, limiting his language to avoid upsetting his girlfriend. The boys nodded in agreement, clearly intimidated. As he placed the microphone in front of the piano and sat down, he began to sing. I found a love for me. Oh darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Oh, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. The song continued, filled with heartfelt lyrics that expressed his love and devotion. Ibara hugged Izuku tightly, kissing him, which caught him off guard, but he kissed her back as she let out tears of joy. Oh Zuzu, you totally deserve me, she said. How did I get so lucky with you? Izuku replied. I was bullied until you, my knight, saved me, she said, hugging him tightly as everyone cheered and squealed. Their moment was interrupted by some fake coughing, and the boys smirked, thinking Izuku might be in trouble for using the field without permission. Hey, uncle, what's up? Izuku greeted. The boy's eyes widened in shock. Not only was the school princess taken, but she was dating the principal's nephew. I'm good, my little nephew, the principal said, hugging Izuku tightly. Ibara looked at them in surprise, realizing she didn't know Izuku was the principal's nephew. Ah, Miss Shiozaki, so you're the one my little nephew is dating? I'm not surprised, as my brother mentioned you two grew up together. Welcome to the family, he said with a wide smile, embracing the two teens tightly. I have to admit, Izuku, that was so romantic, the principal added. Thanks, uncle. I'm sorry, but I have to go. I have a flight to catch. I was supposed to go to Britain, but I made a quick stop here, Izuku explained. What? Ibara exclaimed. I know you were busy, and I appreciate you coming here, darling, but why? Izuku replied, to show that boy you're taken. The principal chuckled at his comment, while Ibara looked at him, puzzled. Wow, nephew, talk about being jealous, the principal teased. Ibara shook her head. You know I said no to him. You don't have to do that, darling. I want to. Plus, I missed you, Izuku said earnestly. Ibara gazed at him with affection and kissed him gently. She then playfully pushed him away, saying, You better get going and come back quickly. Izuku nodded and waved goodbye to Ibara and his uncle. Say hi to aunt and uncle for me, he called out as he left. His uncle nodded in response, and as Izuku walked away, the girls nearby squealed at how cute the moment was. Ibara tucked her phone into her pocket. Oh my Cammy, that was so romantic. You all are making me jealous, Mina exclaimed. The boys smiled and bid farewell to the girls, claiming they were too tired to listen to more love stories. Toru turned to Nijire and Yui. How about you guys? How did he court you? Yui replied, That's a story for another day, and Nijire nodded in agreement. So you chimed in, and you mentioned he has quirks. How many does he have? Nijire thought for a moment. I think it's 11? Everyone gasped in surprise. Is that even possible? Yu shrugged. We don't know, but he's a royal after all, so maybe it is. Toru asked, What are his quirks? Nijire began to explain. The first is Stockpile, which you already know about. The second is Angel's Wings. He gains white wings and becomes 100 times stronger. The third is called Devil. He can summon horned soldiers and gains black wings and horns, making him 1,000 times stronger. The fourth is what he calls Golden Wings, which gives him golden wings and makes him 10,000 times stronger. The fifth is a combination of the angel, demon, and gold. He gains 6 wings in gold, white, and black. The sixth quirk is telekinesis, which you already know how that works. The seventh is similar to Momo's creation ability. The eighth is immortality. Everyone in his family is immortal, and when he claims us, we become immortal too, just like Yui, Ibara, and Momo, who are already immortal since he claimed them. They can never feel pain or have broken bones because the immortality quirk has healing powers and regeneration. When we get hurt, we heal automatically, and if we lose a finger, it regenerates quickly. The ninth quirk allows him to give away quirks, the 10th lets him create quirks, and the 11th is the ability to take away quirks. Mina's eyes widened. Wow, that's insane. He's so overpowered. He never brags about his quirks, and he's kind, sweet, and treats you all like queens. I'm so jealous of you. Jairu nudged her. Then why don't you confess to him, Mina? Mina blushed but didn't deny it. He's already dating you guys. Nijair smiled. So? If he accepts you, we'll accept you too. Mina raised an eyebrow. What do you mean, you guys? Yui added, we know Pony and Kendo like him too. Kendo stammered, I definitely don't know what you're talking about. Pony quickly changed the subject. Oh, look at the time. We should sleep now, we still have to go to the auditorium at 10. Uraraka piped up, what about me? I like him too. Jairu shot her a look. What makes you think he'll accept you? Yui added, after what you had planned to do? Nijair warned, he knows your plan, Achiko Uraraka, so don't even think about it. The three girls spoke with a hint of venom, while Ibra remained quiet, worried about what she might say. Anyway, let's sleep now, it's already 1 a.m., Ibra suggested, hoping to avoid further questions from the other girls. Uraraka stared at them, wide-eyed, thinking, how? Time skipped to morning. The girls woke up at 9:45, quickly completed their morning routines, and rushed to the auditorium, where Nizu awaited them. Just then, the door burst open, revealing All Might, back from his vacation. I am here. Why are you all gathered here? And where is young Midoriya? All Might asked, looking confused. Jairu explained, he went home, and we're listening to his music. Nizu added, since you interrupted us, why don't you pick a song, All Might? All Might apologized for the interruption and stepped forward to choose a CD featuring an illustration of a blonde girl and Izuku. He was puzzled as the blonde resembled his goddaughter. All Might handed the CD to Nizu, and as it played, the video showed Izuku with the blonde girl, who wore glasses. All Might's jaw nearly dropped when he realized it was indeed his goddaughter, Melissa Shield. Izuku gently embraced Melissa from behind as she placed her hands over his arms. Izuku, you know I want you. It's not a secret I try to hide. I know you want me, so don't keep saying our hands are tied. You claim it's not in the cards. Midoriya, you lucky. Before he could finish his sentence, he was silenced by the glares and intense stares directed at him. Drew, what was that, Mineta? She said in a playful yet fierce tone. Yui, what were you about to call our darling? Nijair, the first one was forgiven, but this one is. Nijair Jair Yui Ibra, unforgivable. They all exclaimed as they playfully pounced on Mineta, while the boys watched in trepidation, feeling sorry for their perverted friend. Nizu, quiet down, the song is about to start. The girls paused their playful assault as Kaminari lifted Mineta and set him down in front of Recovery Girl. In another scene, Izuku was seen with MT Lady a month after they officially started dating, strolling hand in hand toward a park. Do you love the rain? Does it make you dance when you're out with your friends at a party? What's your favorite song? Does it make you smile? Do you think of me when you close your eyes? Tell me, what are you dreaming? Everything, I want to know it all. I'd spend 10,000 hours and 10,000 more. Oh, if that's what it takes to learn that sweetheart of yours. And I might never get there, but I'm going to try. If it's 10,000 hours or the rest of my life, I'm going to love you. Do you miss the road that you grew up on? Did you get your middle name from your grandma? When you think about your forever now, do you think of me? When you close your eyes, tell me, what are you dreaming? Everything, I want to know it all. I'd spend 10,000 hours and 10,000 more. Oh, if that's what it takes to learn that sweetheart of yours. And I might never get there, but I'm going to try. If it's 10,000 hours or the rest of my life, I'm going to love you. As they walked back from the park, they came across a church. Izuku paused at the entrance, looking at you, which confused her but made him smile. Izuku, I know you don't love me yet, but I'm going to make sure you will, Yu Takayama, because I'm going to love you. He said with a wink, causing her to blush. She gave him a quick peck on the cheek and hugged him tightly, and he embraced her back. Namuri, not only did you have your first kiss and get a boyfriend before me, but he also sang and wrote you a song. Lucky you, blushing, that's because he loves me, you know, she said, flipping her hair, making Midnight roll her eyes. All Might thought, young Midoriya, what happened while I was gone? How did you manage to get a harem in just 3 days? Nizu, should we pick another song? Everyone nodded, and Nizu selected Uraraka, who rolled her eyes while smiling as she found a song. Uraraka, blushing, I choose this one. Nizu, what's the title of the song and why? Uraraka, it's called Forget You, and it's for me, she said, blushing as she thought it was a love song about how Izuku felt for her. The four girls struggled to contain their laughter as the upbeat song began, while everyone assumed it was just another love song. Sir, I'm a bit nervous about being here today. I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to say, so please bear with me if I take up too much of your time. But you see, in this box is a ring for your oldest. She's my everything, and all I know is it would be such a relief if I knew we were on the same side. Very soon, I'm hoping that Mr. Yaoyorozu smiled widely in the video as it showed Izuku presenting Mr. Yaoyorozu with an engagement ring. Everyone gasped at how beautiful the ring was. Mina, that ring must be expensive. Toru, yeah, and I have to admit Midori has style in jewels. Kendo, it really is expensive, that costs at least $1 million. Everyone, what? Mineta, just how rich is that guy? Kendo, it's pricey because it's the only one made, and that ring is customized. Nizu, okay, that's enough. Let's continue listening to the music, shall we? Everyone nodded again as they brought their attention back to the screen. Could marry your daughter and make her my wife. I want her to be the only girl that I love for the rest of my life and give her the best of me until the day that I die. I'm going to marry your princess and make her my queen. She'll be the most beautiful bride that I've ever seen. I can't wait to smile as she walks down the aisle on the arm of her father on the day that I marry your daughter. She's been here every step since the day that we met. I'm scared to think of what would happen if she ever left. So don't you ever worry about me ever treating her badly, no. We've got most of our vows done so far, so bring on for better or worse, and until death do us part, there's no doubt in my mind. It's time. I'm ready to start. I swear to you with all of my heart, I'm going to marry your daughter and make her my wife. I want her to be the only girl that I love for the rest of my life and give her the best of me until the day that I die. Mr. Yaoyorozu, yes, my boy, you can marry my daughter. Just remember, don't hurt her, which I doubt you would. Izuku, not to worry, Dad, I promise to take care of her and make sure no harm will come to her. Mr. Yaoyorozu, I know you will always protect her, my boy. As Mr. Yaoyorozu got up and hugged Izuku, the screen faded. Everyone awed, knowing Izuku's words were sincere. Zero, so that's why he jumped in front of those villains when they tried to grab Yaoyorozu. Tsuyu, what do you mean he jumped in front of the villains? Sato, we were outnumbered by the villains, and Kaminari was in his excited mode. A villain almost grabbed Jiru and Momo when Izuku appeared out of nowhere and took them down with ease. I thought he only did that because he hates it when the girls are disrespected. The girls blushed, thinking about what it would be like to date Izuku, while a certain short-haired brunette quietly wiped away tears. Jiru, are you alright, Achiko? Uraraka, I'm fine, Jiru. We should continue listening to Deku's music. Everyone let her be, and Nizu picked another random name, and Mr. Aizawa was chosen. Aizawa, why me? Nizu, because you got picked randomly. Now quit complaining and pick a song. Aizawa made his way to where the suitcases were, and a certain song caught his eye. Aizawa, I want this one, it's called The Lazy Song. Aizawa said with a grin while everyone's sweat dropped, thinking, of course you would. Look inside your tiny mind, now look a bit harder. 'Cause we're so uninspired. So sick and tired of all the hatred you harbor. So you say it's not okay to be gay, well, I think you're just misguided. You're just someone who can't see the bigger picture. Your point of view is outdated. I strongly disagree with you, I really, really do. 'Cause we dislike what you stand for. And we dislike your whole crew. So, please don't stay in touch. I strongly disagree with you, I really, really do. 'Cause your words don't resonate. And it's getting quite late. So, please don't stay in touch. Do you get a little thrill out of being narrow-minded? You want to be like your father, it's his approval you're after. Well, that's not how you find it. Do you really enjoy living a life that's so unkind? 'Cause there's a void where your compassion should be. You're losing control a bit, and it's really disheartening. I strongly disagree with you, I really, really do. 'Cause we dislike what you stand for. And we dislike your whole crew. So, please don't stay in touch. I strongly disagree with you, I really, really do. 'Cause your words don't resonate. And it's getting quite late. So, please don't stay in touch. I strongly disagree with you. I strongly disagree with you. I strongly disagree with you. You say you think we need to go to war, well, you're already in one. 'Cause it's people like you that need to change. No one wants your opinion. I strongly disagree with you, I really, really do. 'Cause we dislike what you stand for. And we dislike your whole crew. So, please don't stay in touch. I strongly disagree with you, I really, really do. 'Cause your words don't resonate. And it's getting quite late. So, please don't stay in touch. I strongly disagree with you. Aizawa, did Midoriya just curse? All Might, I think he did. Mike, that's quite a catchy beat, but those lyrics are something else. That listener sure is talented. Nizu, but why did he curse at Uraraka? He said as the mentioned girl looked stunned. He turned to Jairu for answers, and she sighed. Jairu, he knew Uraraka was upset when Kirishima came out. When she said that, Class 1A froze, shocked at how she showed her support at first, not expecting her to secretly harbor resentment. Just as Kirishima was about to reply, Jairu continued. Jairu, he also knows you did your little research on him. Uraraka, what research? Iba, oh please, don't act innocent. Yui, he knew you were dating Bakugo and your plans. Nijire, he overheard your conversations in Bakugo's room, which annoyed him since who talks at 3 a.m.? He overheard everything. Uraraka, what conversations? And plans? Jair, drop the act. He knew you were planning to marry him when he becomes king, then betray him after the wedding to marry Bakugo and to make him the king. Ibra, what makes you think he'd fall for your little trick? Yui, he never liked you, so keep that in your mind. You can't get close to Izuku. Nijire, he never told anyone because he felt bad for your parents. Uraraka, Izuku likes me. He turns red when he talks to me. Jairu, that's because your perfume is vanilla, and he's allergic to it. That's why he turns red. When he smells or touches anything vanilla, he reacts. Don't get your hopes up. Nijire walked towards her and whispered in her ear. Nijire, if it were up to us, you would have been in serious trouble by now, so be grateful he felt bad for your parents. She said as Uraraka paled, and Nijire smiled as she returned to the girl's side. All Might, wait, so young Midoriya is a prince? Why did I miss so much? I've just been gone for like 3 days. Aizawa, I'm really disappointed in you, Uraraka. Nizu will give you a consequence. When the prince is back. As Nizu was about to finish his sentence, the door slammed open, revealing a girl the same height as Jairu. Where's my darling? Random student? Who? My darling Izuku Midoriya. As the 5 girls took a clear glance at her, they gasped and ran towards her. With Izuku at the hospital. Izuku walked towards the hospital bed to visit his red-haired princess, who was confined in the best hospital in Europe. Izuku, hey darling, how are you? It's been 2 months since the accident and 2 weeks since classes started. I'm sorry I haven't been able to visit you. He said as he kissed her forehead and held her hand. Izuku, I'm planning to propose to you all, so we can marry as soon as I become king. But how can we get married when you're still in bed? Don't worry, darling, I'll wait for you. I wrote another song for you. He said as he removed the guitar from its case and started playing. Wise men said, only fools rush in. But I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? If I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows. Surely to the sea. Darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand. Take my whole life too. For I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows. Surely to the sea. Darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand. Take my whole life too. For I can't help falling in love with you. For I can't help falling in love with you. Izuku wiped his tears and kissed his beloved once more, gently caressing her hand as he felt her grip tighten. He quickly called for the nurses. Izuku, he shouted. Nurse, get my uncle here, she's back. The nurses exchanged wide-eyed glances and complied. He returned to his chair, holding her hand. Darling, can you please squeeze my hand again? He felt another grip, which made him smile as tears streamed down his cheeks. She opened her eyes and saw him. Izuku smiled through his tears. Welcome back, my red princess. At Yue. As the girls released their hug, they noticed another white-haired girl approaching, and they gasped before embracing her. Joe, Weiss, Winter, what are you doing here? Winter, to visit you all and my darling, of course. Weiss, as much as I enjoy this hug, can you let me go, please? Oh, sorry, Ibra said, releasing her. Yui, will you be joining us tomorrow? Weiss, yes, we will. I can't wait to see my prince. Winter raised an eyebrow at her sister. You mean our prince? Weiss rolled her eyes and smiled. Everyone gasped as they recognized the two figures and bowed. Nizu, Princess Weiss and Winter of Britain. Weiss at ease. Winter, we're just here to visit our co-fiancés. Mineta whispered, Inu Midoriya? You already have the Princess of Asia, and now the Princesses of Britain. He said this while silently crying as the students and teachers stood up straight. Aizawa, may we know what brings you here if you no problem child isn't here? Winter and Weiss exchanged amused glances. Problem child? That's what Dadzawa calls Zuzu, Jiru explained. Weiss, I see. Well, Kyoka sent us a message saying you listened to the prince's music, so we thought, why not make a quick trip to Japan? Winter, we'll all leave tomorrow anyway. Will you be joining us? You sighed heavily. Unfortunately, no. I have to help guard the students, and speaking of guarding, I need to make my rounds now. Bye. You said as she left the auditorium, and the 6 girls looked at her with pity, feeling bad for the heroine as they said their goodbyes. Yui, why don't we continue playing Izuku's music? Ibra, yeah, the video of the song he played when he courted you is in there too. Nijaya, by the way, where are the other 2? Weiss, unfortunately, they still have a lot of work to do. Winter, so we'll see them tomorrow in Europe. Yui, I see. Weiss, hurry up you guys. I want to see that video again since the prince forgot to send me a copy. They made their way back to their seats as Nizu moved Kaminari and Mineta's seats away from the girls, worried they might make inappropriate comments that could damage Yue's reputation. Nizu, since you're here, your majesties, why don't you pick your song? Winter, very well, I'll go first, Weiss. Weiss, fine, just hurry up. Winter approached the front and found the song dedicated to her. Winter, here it is, the title is, Treat You Better. She handed the CD to Nizu and returned to her seat next to the girls. The video showed Izuku and Winter. Izuku sat on the king's left side while Winter sat on his right, facing each other. King, Winter, what is your decision? The Prince of Europe or the son of the noble family Nido? Winter, Father, may I be excused to think this through? King, very well. Winter left for her room, leaving Izuku with her father in the dining room. Izuku, uncle, may I be excused as well? The king smiled and nodded. King, just so you know, Izuku, I want you to marry my daughters. I know you would take good care of my kingdom and my daughters. Weiss has already agreed to this, and I hope you can convince Winter as well. I don't trust Nido to care for my daughter or my kingdom. Izuku, thank you for your trust, uncle. I will talk to her, but I won't force her. I will respect her decision. He made his way to Winter's room and knocked on her door. Winter, come in, I know it's you, Izuku. Izuku, you know I won't force you to marry me, right? Winter, I know. Izuku, but that doesn't mean I won't try to win your heart. He said as he pulled out a guitar from a portal. Winter turned her back to him, hiding her blush and crossing her arms as he began to play. Izuku stood before Winter, his expression earnest. I won't lie to you, I know he's just not right for you. You can tell me if I'm off, but I see it on your face when you say he's the one you want. You're spending all your time in this wrong situation. Whenever you want it to stop, just know I can treat you better than he can. Any girl like you deserves a gentleman. Tell me, why are we wasting time on all your tears when you should be with me instead? He took a step closer, his voice softening. I know I can treat you better. I'll stop time for you the moment you say you'd like me to. I just want to give you the love you're missing. Waking up with you would mean everything to me, and this could be so different. Tell me what you want to do. As Winter turned to walk away, trying to hide her blush, Izuku continued, I know I can treat you better than he can. Any girl like you deserves a gentleman. But we wasting time on all your tears when you should be with me instead. Give me a sign, he urged, extending his hand toward her. Take my hand and we'll be fine. I promise I won't let you down. You don't have to do this alone. With a flick of his wrist, he created a portal and set his guitar aside, stepping closer to Winter. She hesitated for a moment before taking his hand, their fingers intertwining. Did my song convince you? Izuku asked, a hopeful glint in his eyes. Winter smiled softly. No, I was planning to choose you from the start. And just so you know, I never cried and said he was the one I chose. I know, I just made that up, he admitted, grinning. I was waiting for you to sing me a song, she teased. Izuku's heart raced. So, Winter, will you make me the happiest man alive by allowing me to be your first kiss, first boyfriend, and future husband? Yes, she replied, a playful glint in her eyes as she leaned in closer. As their lips met, a round of applause erupted, and they turned to see who it was. Finally, you've convinced her, son, the king exclaimed, a proud smile on his face. And you better call me Papas. Winter, I know your mom is proud of you right now, seeing you choose the right man. Thanks, Papas, Izuku replied, a bit shyly. Winter blushed. Dad, good thing Weiss and Mom aren't here right now, or they would tease me endlessly. Don't worry, I've asked Izuku to send me a copy of what happened today, the king said with a smirk. Winter's cheeks flushed deeper as the video ended, struggling to compose herself while Weiss shot her an amused smile, the kind sisters give when they have something to tease about. The girls squealed, causing the boys to cover their ears, as the excitement had been building for days. Dang Midori! I wish you wrote me a song too. Mina exclaimed. Oh, he did write a song for the rest of the girls in the hero course, Yui added. The 6 girls exchanged mischievous glances, imagining the reactions of their classmates when they found out. Really? Toru asked, eyes wide. Yeah, but let's listen to Weiss' song first, Ibra suggested. The girls nodded as Weiss stepped in front of the stage, ready to perform the song Izuku had dedicated to her. This one is titled, I Love You Too Much, she announced, blushing as her sister smirked knowingly. The video began, showing Izuku in a suit, making the girls blush as he scanned the crowd. When he spotted Weiss, his face lit up with a smile. Prince, you made it! Weiss exclaimed. Of course. I wouldn't want my princess to spend her prom alone, now would I? He replied, causing her to blush even more. The MC then announced, for tonight's first event, we will pick a random lucky man to showcase his talent on stage, and no one can refuse. The boys groaned, fearing they might be chosen, but when the spotlight landed on Izuku, he knew he had to impress the crowd. He stepped onto the stage, and the girls looked at him with admiration, some even swooning at his handsome appearance, which made Weiss a bit jealous. Okay, young man, what instrument would you like? The MC asked. May I borrow a guitar, please? Izuku requested. Sure thing, the MC replied, handing him the instrument as he stepped aside. Izuku, you can be the greatest, you can be the best. You can be the one who stands tall and proud. You can conquer the world, you can win the fight. You can reach out to the heavens, knocking on the door. You can raise your hands high, you can beat the clock. You can move mountains, you can break barriers. Some will call it practice, some will call it luck. But either way, you're destined for greatness. Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world will know your name. Because you shine with the brightest light, and the world will know your name. And you'll be celebrated in the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile. You can walk through challenges with a smile. You can be a hero, you can achieve your dreams. Breaking records they thought were impossible. Do it for your people, do it for your pride. How will you ever know if you never even try? Do it for your country, Do it for your name? Because there will come a day when you're standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world will know your name. Because you shine with the brightest light, and the world will know your name. And you'll be celebrated in the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be leaders, be champions. Be believers, be truth seekers. Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world will know your name. Because you shine with the brightest light, and the world will know your name. And you'll be celebrated in the Hall of Fame. As Izuku stopped playing, he faced the camera and smiled. Izuku, I hope Dad might and Dad Zawa might see this one day. If you ever do, I just want you to know I looked up to you both and thought of you as my second fathers. I love you both. He said with a smile as the video ended. Dad might Dad Zawa, we think of you as our son too, young Midoriya. They said, their smiles a bit teary as the girls awed and the boys cheered in a manly fashion. Ibra, anyway, now that it's done, should we pick a song dedicated to the girls? Yui, yeah, I'll go pick. Is that okay, Principal Nizu? Nizu, sure. He said as he sipped his tea while Yui searched for a song dedicated to the girls. Yui, this song is titled Mambo No. 5. As she said that, the 6 girls struggled to contain their laughter, leaving the others confused. But before they could ask, the song started playing, and the lyrics appeared. Izuku. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mambo No. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride. To the store around the corner. The boys say they want some fun. But I really don't want to. I must stay focused because talk is cheap. I like Setsuna, Kendo, Reiko, and Kinoko. And as I continue, you know they're getting sweeter. So what can I do? I really beg you, my lord. To me, flirting is just like a game. As the mentioned girls blushed, the others couldn't help but laugh at their reactions. A little bit of Setsuna in my life. A little bit of Toru by my side. A little bit of Tsuyu is all I need. A little bit of Mina is what I see. A little bit of Kendo in the sun. A little bit of Kinoko all night long. A little bit of Reiko, here I am. A little bit of Pony makes me your man. All the girls from the hero course were blushing, except for the 4 who were laughing uncontrollably. Mambo No. 5. Jump up and down and move it all around. Shake your head to the put your hands on the ground. Take 1 step left and 1 step right. 1 to the front and 1 to the side. Clap your hands once and clap your hands twice. And if it looks like this, then you're doing it right. A little bit of Setsuna in my life. A little bit of Toru by my side. A little bit of Tsuyu is all I need. A little bit of Mina is what I see. A little bit of Kendo in the sun. A little bit of Kinoko all night long. A little bit of Reiko, here I am. A little bit of Pony makes me your man. I do all to fall in love with a girl like you, because you can't run and you can't hide. You and I are going to touch the sky. As the song finished, the girls were blushing crimson red while the others were also red from laughing so hard. Mina, wow, he didn't mention Uraraka in the song. Jiru, why should she be in the song? Weiss, is she the... She was about to finish her sentence when her phone rang. She immediately picked it up, seeing that the caller ID was Momo. Weiss, hello Momo. Did something happen? Weiss asked, her tone filled with concern, making the rest of the girls worry as well. Momo, yes. Something wonderful happened. Stella's awake. Momo said, her excitement evident, making Weiss's eyes widen in shock as the girls grew even more anxious. Weiss, really? That's great. I'll inform the girls now. Bye. Momo, great. As the call ended, Weiss felt a few tears welling up but managed to smile brightly, her joy matching her lover's radiant grin. We're whole again. She's awake, finally back. Weiss exclaimed. With Izuku, he was seen cuddling with Stella in her hospital bed while Momo was on her way to visit them along with their parents. What happened while I was out? Stella asked, her curiosity piqued. The girls cried, I found the culprit, and my parents took care of the troublemakers, Izuku replied, a hint of pride in his voice. He hugged Stella tightly, fearing the thought of losing her again. Stella blushed at the mention of Izuku's parents. What do you mean they took care of them? Well, the teachers and principal protected the students who attacked you, so my parents dealt with them in their own way, Izuku explained, chuckling. They told them that if they liked protecting each other, good luck surviving with my pets. They might have thought my pets were harmless. Stella's eyes widened in shock. What? Don't you think that's a bit extreme? Izuku frowned, his expression turning serious. They deserved it after what they did to you. Those students were awful. So, did they survive? Stella asked hesitantly. Not a chance. The moment they entered the chamber with my pets, they were overwhelmed, Izuku said, a mix of pride and concern in his voice. Stella shivered, imagining the fate of those who had wronged her. Izuku's pets were known for their loyalty but were fierce to anyone with ill intentions. What happened to the culprits then? Stella pressed. Oh, Bakugo and his friends? They'll be dealt with by my other pets. And my dad took care of Aldra High, Izuku said with a dark chuckle, causing Stella to pale at the thought. Bakugo? Is that the leader's name? She asked. Yeah, he was enrolled in UA to become a hero, but his actions are more villainous, Izuku replied. I understand they deserve punishment, but don't you think they should get a second chance? Stella questioned gently. I know you don't like how I handled it, but they hurt you. I couldn't risk losing you, and they had a history of bullying quirkless kids, Izuku explained, and Stella sighed, realizing he was right. Just then, the door burst open, revealing an excited and tearful Momo, along with their parents. Stella! Momo cried, rushing towards her and enveloping her in a tight hug, unintentionally pushing Izuku aside. Their parents laughed at the scene, while Izuku stood up, groaning from the sudden impact. You idiot! How many times do we have to tell you to stop sneaking out? Momo scolded, her worry evident. I'm sorry. I just wanted to explore the city, Stella replied, feeling guilty for causing concern. You could have at least told us. We were all worried sick. Momo exclaimed, her tone softening as she hugged Stella like a protective older sister. I promise I won't do it again. Stella assured her. You better keep that promise, Momo said, releasing her and walking over to Izuku, who watched the interaction with a warm smile. Stella's parents embraced her, relief washing over them. Thank goodness you're awake, her father said, while her mother added, we missed you so much. Can't breathe. Stella managed to say as her parents finally let her go, and the adults shared amused glances. You should thank Jonathan for shutting down Aldra, her mother suggested, glancing at Mr. Yaoyorozu, who smiled back. Thank you for your help, Mr. Yaoyorozu, but don't you think it was a bit much? Stella asked shyly. Anything for our daughter's fiancé. Please call me Daddy Y. Momo already calls your dad Daddy V, and since you'll be marrying the same man, it's only fitting. Mr. Y replied. And call me Mommy Y, dear, his wife added. Don't forget to call us Mom and Dad too. Hisashi and Inko chimed in, causing both Stella and Momo to blush. Okay, Mommy and Daddy Y, Mom and Dad, Stella said, trying to adjust to the new family dynamics. But may I ask, why did you burn down the school? Stella inquired. For fun. And I think the teachers should be grateful it was me and not Hisashi, Daddy Y replied with a mischievous grin. Why? Momo and Stella asked in unison. Because I was planning something much worse, Izuku said, his tone serious. Dad was going to drop a bomb and contain the damage to just the school. And we showed them mercy by handling it ourselves. If it had been up to the kids, it would have been far worse, Mommy Y added, causing the adults to shiver at the thought. Stella raised an eyebrow. What could be worse than being overwhelmed by 3 pets? Momo and Izuku exchanged glances, and Momo sighed. She suggested hiring someone to find those teachers, incapacitate them, and then they would be fed to Zuzu's pets. We just went along with it. Stella blinked, trying to process what she had just heard. Can you repeat that? I didn't understand a word you said. Momo. She suggested hiring some people to find those teachers, incapacitate them, and then they would be fed to all of Zuzu's pets. We just went along with it. Stella, what? That is too brutal. Momo, hey, in my defense, Ibra also agreed to it. She, the Holy One, thinks they deserve it too, and so do the other girls. As well as Zuzu. Stella, and you guys were planning to be heroes? Really? She said as the 2 teens sighed while the parents chuckled. Izuku, But we didn't do it. It was just a suggestion and it was her idea in the first place. The girls agreed and so did I. Izuku said as Momo nodded in agreement while Stella sighed. Stella mumbles. Of course, she would be the one to suggest it. As the doctor entered, he was greeted by the family. Doctor, Miss Stella Vermilion, the test results came back and you're as healthy as ever. You're free to go, but please use a wheelchair since your legs haven't been used for 2 months. They may feel a bit weak for a while. Stella, thanks, uncle. Doctor, no problem. After all, you and the other girls will be marrying my nephew, he said, wiggling his eyebrows while the adults laughed at the teens, who turned crimson red. Inko, quit teasing your nephew and niece's in-law, John. John, oh, come on, brother-in-law, aren't you going to help your good old little brother? Hisashi was about to speak when he saw Inko glaring at him. Hisashi, sorry bro, she's giving me the look. Hisashi said as John rolled his eyes, muttering whipped. Izuku, thanks mom. Inko, no problem, my baby boy. Izuku blushed at how his mother called him baby, while the others laughed at him. Izuku whining. John? Oh, is our little Izu embarrassed? As he said that, Izuku blushed again, and everyone laughed harder. Izuku goes, Momo, don't be embarrassed, babe, you're our little Izu anyway. Everyone laughed again while Izuku took this opportunity to get back at Momo as he whispered in her ear. Izuku whispering, you know I'm not little, babe. As he said that, Momo immediately turned red and fell silent as Izuku snickered. Momo, be baka, she said as she elbowed Izuku, and he stopped snickering. John, anyway, I'll ask a nurse to bring in a wheelchair, and you don't have to fill out the discharge papers since Izuku owns the hospital anyway. But some citizens saw the 2 royal families and the Yaoyorozu enter the hospital, so I'm sure the exit will be crowded with bodyguards, knights, and reporters. The family thanked John as he left. The nurse then entered, bowed to them, and brought in a wheelchair. Izuku carried Stella to the wheelchair as she sat down. He grabbed his guitar and handed it to one of the guards while he put on his mask and prepared himself as they exited the room. As he wheeled Stella down the hallway, they were immediately swarmed by reporters, and the guards and knights struggled to cover them. Random reporter, Prince Izuku, why are you wheeling the Princess of Asia? Are you 2 dating? R1. If you are, is your fiancé okay with this? R2. King of Asia, are you fine with your daughter dating the prince while he's engaged to other women? R3. Please look this way. R4. Lady Yaoyorozu, are you okay with this? Izuku, I know you all have questions. Please gather at the town square tonight. I will answer all of your questions there. Izuku said as he gave the reporters his famous smile. The reporters nodded and stepped back, allowing the royals to pass. Time skipped to the night. Izuku was seen along with his parents, Momo, her parents, the king and queen of Asia, and Stella. MC, raise your hand if you have questions and please stand up one at a time. You may start asking your questions now. R1. I have a question for the prince. What is the Princess of Asia to you, and why was she in the hospital? Izuku, she's one of my girlfriends, and just like Momo, she was arranged to marry me as well. Before you judge me, no, I'm not a player, I was kind of required to have a harem because of my quirk, which I won't explain. As for why she was in the hospital, a group of students assaulted her, and the school tried to cover it up, thinking they could get away with it. I think that's all you need to know about why she was in the hospital. Everyone gasped and felt sorry for whoever would experience the wrath of the royals, as they knew very well not to mess with them. R1. Thank you for answering my question, Prince. Izuku, no problem. R2. I have a question for Lady Yaoyorozu. Are you okay with sharing your fiancé? Momo, of course. You see, Izuku may have a lot of girls, but he still loves us equally. You wouldn't feel like you're being shared. He gives all of us attention, and me and the girls are on good terms. We treat each other like sisters. R2. Thank you for answering my question. Momo, no problem. R3. I have a question for Mr. Yaoyorozu. Are you okay with your daughter sharing the prince with other women? Mr. Yaoyorozu. Of course, as long as my daughter is happy. Before the arrangement was made, the king and queen explained to us that the prince would need to have a harem. R3. I see, thank you. Mr. Yaoyorozu only nodded. How about you, King of Asia? Were you informed of this arrangement as well? King V. Of course we were, and we agreed to it as well. The prince has proven himself more than worthy to marry my daughter, and I know he would protect her with everything he has. R4. Thank you for answering, King of Asia. King V. No problem at all. R5. Prince, how long did the Princess of Asia stay in the hospital? Izuku. She stayed there for 2 months, which made me realize something. R5. What did you realize, Prince? Izuku. That life is too short to waste it. After he said that, he stepped forward, holding a microphone while the covers behind the family dropped, revealing a band prepared by Izuku. The parents and Momo grinned while Stella looked shocked. As they walked to the side of the stage, the guards removed the long table. Izuku. She'll be my queen. Since we were 16. We want the same things. We dream the same dreams. Alright, got it all. 'Cause she is the one. Her mom calls me. Back at the girls in Yuta. While the girls were in a big group hug, Principal Nizu cleared his throat, interrupting their moment. Nizu, I apologize for interrupting, but can we please continue? Winter, you should be sorry. We're trying to process our feelings and you just have to ruin it. Weiss, that's enough, sister. Yes, we can continue now. Weiss said as she proceeded to the stage to select a song. While searching for a song dedicated to her, she stumbled upon one dedicated to Mai, which made her smile sadly and tear up a little. Weiss, I choose this one. It's called The One That Got Away, and it's dedicated to Mai. The girls in Izuku's harem exchanged sad smiles as Weiss handed the CD to Principal Nizu and returned to her seat, not noticing the confused look Nizu gave them. He remained silent as the video began. The video showed Izuku sitting near a grave, singing while holding flowers. Izuku. Summer after middle school when we first met, we'd make out in my Mustang to Radiohead. And on your 15th birthday, we got matching tattoos. Used to sneak your parents' liquor and climb to the roof. Talk about our future like we had a clue. Never planned that one day I'd be losing you. In another life, I would be your man. We'd keep all our promises. Be us against the world. In another life, I would make you stay. So I don't have to say you were. The one that got away. The one that got away. The next video showed a conversation between Izuku and Mai. Mai? Hey, Izuku. Izuku, yes, my bunny? Mai, I have a challenge for you. Izuku, what is it, my bunny? Mai, don't talk or text me for the next 24 hours, and you'll receive a reward. Izuku, why? Don't you like talking to me? I'm pouting, by the way. Mai, just please accept the challenge. I prepared a special reward for you. Izuku, alright, I don't want your efforts to go to waste. I love you, my bunny. Mai, I love you too, my prince. After 24 hours. Izuku excitedly went to his car with flowers in hand, speeding to Mai's house, eager to see her. As he parked, he was confused by the number of cars outside, all of them black. Upon entering the house, he was met with a sight that took his breath away, a coffin with a picture of Mai beside it. Izuku dropped the flowers as he approached the coffin, his heart breaking. Izuku, no. Mai, why did you leave me? Please tell me this is a joke. As he cried, a woman with black hair and red-rimmed eyes approached him. Izuku, aunt. Why didn't you tell me? Mai's mom, I'm sorry, Izuku. We found out 2 days ago. She didn't want to break your heart. I tried to convince her to tell you, but she didn't want to. She left you this box before she passed away. Izuku opened the box, revealing the engagement ring he had given her and a note. The camera zoomed in on the note, which read, To my green idiot bunny, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I didn't want you to spend the next day as if our time was running out. I'm sure you completed the challenge. I know it's hard, but you have to continue living your life, darling. Please don't mourn too much or cry for too long. Remember to enjoy life, not just for you but for both of us. I lived with no regrets. You turned my life upside down. Without you, my life would have been dull. One moment I was suffering, but you came and turned my life into a fairy tale that every girl dreams of. You are my first and last fiancé and boyfriend. You're affectionate, handsome, and perfect almost hard to believe you really exist. Please don't blame yourself or live with regrets. I will always watch over you, my prince, and I'll wait for you on the other side. I love you always and forever. Your black-haired bunny under a fiancé? The video returned to Izuku, who was on his knees at the grave, tears streaming down his face. The girls were crying, holding umbrellas in the cemetery. Izuku, I know you said not to cry and mourn too much, but I can't help it, my bunny. He smiled through his tears. Izuku, especially when the sky mourns with me. But I'll enjoy life like you said. I will always be your green idiot bunny and prince. The video returned to Izuku at the grave once more. While he placed the flowers he was holding, a sad smile crossed his face. You were my June and I was your Johnny Cash. Never one without the other, we made a pact. Sometimes when I miss you, I put those records on. Someone mentioned you had your... Mai giggled at her mother's antics and kissed Izuku. Emma, I love you both, but do you really need to do that in front of me? I might just faint from all this sweetness. Emma released the couple, who blushed a deep shade of red, and turned to Izuku with a serious expression. Emma, Izuku, I know you're a great kid. Please take care of my daughter and never leave her. Don't be like her father. Izuku, don't worry, Aunt. I promise to never hurt her and to always protect her. Emma, thank you, Izuku. And please call me Mom. Emma turned and hugged her daughter tightly. Emma, I'm so glad you found your love. My baby girl is getting married. Oh my goodness, my daughter is getting married. Mai chuckled as her mother let her go, mumbling about how she didn't want to be alone with her cat, and how it was embarrassing when a cashier called her grandma while she was buying a new oven. Izuku heard all of this and chuckled. Izuku, Mom, you know you could live with us, right? Emma looked at him with wide eyes. Emma, really? Wouldn't I be invading your privacy if I moved in with you? Izuku, nonsense. You're my mother-in-law, the mother of my soon-to-be wife. You're always welcome, and I assure you, you won't be invading our privacy. Emma hugged the couple again, while Mai looked at Izuku with appreciation. Emma, thank you, Izuku. I really liked you when Mai first introduced you. Did you know that? There's no one I'd rather have as a son-in-law than you. Thank goodness Mai picked the perfect guy. You should marry him. Oh wait, you will. The three of them chuckled at Emma's statement. Emma, does your mom know you got engaged today? Izuku's eyes widened as he realized he had forgotten to call his mom after Mai said yes. He quickly grabbed his phone from his pocket and saw he had 50 missed calls from his mom, 40 from his grandmother, 2 from his grandfather, and 4 messages from his father. Izuku paled as he read his father's messages. First message, I'm pretty sure Mai said yes, but I'm going to ask anyway. How did it go, son? Second message, she did say yes, right? Hurry up and text me back, your mom's starting to get worried. Third message, son, seriously, your grandma and mom are going to have our heads, including your grandpa's. Call me, your mom, or your grandma or grandpa back as soon as you read this. Fourth message, son, we're starting to get worried. Your mom sent out search teams to look for you. Be safe, my boy. Izuku immediately dialed his mom's number. After a few seconds, Inko's voice shouted on the phone. Inko, Izuku Shimura Midoriya. Do you have any idea, and I mean any idea at all, how worried we were? I have sent at least 100 search teams to look for you. Izuku had to hold the phone away from his ear as his grandmother's voice came through next, making him tremble. Emma and Mai looked at him, trying to hold back their laughter. Grandmother, Sonny, we were so worried about you. Grandfather almost alerted the media about you being missing. Izuku knew very well that behind his grandmother's sweet voice was someone who would scold him when he returned home. He even heard his grandfather quietly say, "Hey, that was you," when he heard a crash, probably from his grandmother playfully hitting his grandfather. Izuku, grandmother, can you please put the phone on speaker? Grandmother, sure, my sweet little boy. Izuku was about to speak again when he heard his father shout, Mom, he's not a baby anymore, followed by another loud crash. Izuku, I'm so sorry for not answering the phone. I was talking to Mai and her mother about the engagement, and by the way, she said yes. As soon as he said that, the two women on the other lines squealed with excitement. Hisashi, I'm happy for you, my boy. I'm guessing your research was successful? Izuku, of course, father. If I can't use my quirks to remove the cancer, I might as well use my brain. Inko, Izuku, put the phone on speaker. I want to talk to your fiancé and Emma. Izuku, okay, Mom. Hey, Aunt. Inko, call me Mother dear. We'll be living under the same roof soon, and you'll be marrying my son. Izuku, speaking of living under the same roof, Mom, after we get married, can Emma move in with us? She doesn't want to be known as an old lonely cat lady. Izuku said teasingly, and laughter erupted from everyone on the line, while Emma shot him a playful glare. Inko, of course, Emma can live with us. We can give her an immortality quirk so she can live forever with us. Emma looked at Izuku in shock. Emma, you could do that? Grandmother, of course he could. How do you think we've lived this long looking young? No offense, dear, but you look older than us. With an immortality quirk, you could look younger. The family and I laughed at his grandmother's comment. Emma's mood shifted from shock to bubbly excitement. Emma, then please give me that quirk so I can visit that rude cashier in 20 years who called me grandma, she said with a playful grin, and the others laughed at her enthusiasm. Grandmother, most of the time, it's hard to believe she's a mother when she acts like a teenager. Hisashi, Inko dear, calm down. The maids just finished cleaning the floor. Please don't flood us with your tears. Inko, I'm sorry. I just can't believe my baby boy is getting married. Grandfather, not you too, Emily. Emily, be quiet, George. My only little grandson is getting married, and then I'd have great-grandchildren. Inko and Emily stopped crying and exchanged smirks, realizing something. The two boys on the other end of the line felt a wave of fear wash over them, knowing exactly what was coming, and they all shouted together. Emily, Inko, grandchildren. George, Hisashi, our wallets. Izuku and I laughed at the four adults, but then Emma had a realization. Emma, wait, what about my? Izuku, what about my? What about me? Emma, I mean, when I become immortal, what happens to you? Izuku and I exchanged glances, blushing as they remembered they hadn't told Emma how Mai would become immortal. Izuku cleared his throat, his cheeks turning a deep shade of red, which only piqued Emma's curiosity further. Izuku coughed. You see, Mai would become immortal when we get married and, well, when we share that special moment together. For adults, oh, that moment. Emma, confused, asked. Emma, what moment? Izuku, you know, the moment that couples share after they get married. Emma's eyes widened as she realized what he meant, and she turned red. Emma, if that's how Mai becomes immortal, does that mean we're going to have to do that? The four adults and Izuku burst into laughter, while Mai blushed fiercely, steam practically rising from her ears as she glanced at her mother. Izuku, oh no, you're my mother-in-law. I can't do that to you. I'll just hold your hand, and you'll become immortal in no time. As for my quirk can sense love, so when we share that moment, the quirk can easily be passed to her, but it only works with the opposite gender. Emma, oh, then why can't you just make her immortal now? Everyone fell silent, and Izuku sighed. Izuku, it's not that simple. If I use my immortality quirk to make her immortal right now, the cancer would remain, and she would only suffer more. I need to ensure that the person I choose to make immortal is healthy first. Emma, oh, I see. Inko, anyway, son, can you share your plan for the treatment? They discussed everything with the four adults, including Mai's request. Inko, are you sure you don't want to tell the other girls? Mai, I want to surprise them when I return. Emily, I can't wait to see their reactions. George, I'm definitely going to record their faces. Mai, you better make sure it looks believable, my bunny. Izuku sighs, don't worry, I'll practice my acting skills. My, good. And a flashback. Emma wasn't immortal yet, as she wanted to wait for Mai to wake up. Emma, when do you think she'll wake up? Izuku, I honestly don't know the exact date, but I'm guessing this month or early next month. Before Izuku could finish, the entire lab turned green, and alarms blared, startling both Izuku and Emma. Green means her awakening. They slowly turned to the capsule-like box as Mai began to open her eyes and move her fingers. Izuku Emma, she's back. Back at UA. The girls gathered again in the 1A dormitory, excited for their planned joint dinner. Ida, Aways, and some of the boys volunteered to cook while others relaxed in the common area, watching TV with the girls and the two royal visitors. Kaminari spoke up. Say, Ibra, can I ask you a question? Weiss chimed in. You already did, silly. Ibra responded. Weiss, please be nice. And yes, it's okay, Kaminari. Kaminari continued. I'm just curious. I know you're religious, so isn't it forbidden to be NTMT with someone if you aren't married? Jaira added. I'm curious too. The other girls nodded in agreement, while Ibra blushed, feeling unprepared to share her secrets so soon. Why, you all remember my great-grandmother was hospitalized a couple of months ago, right? Ibra asked. The girls responded, yes. Well, her dying wish was to see her great-granddaughter get married. My parents and Izuku's talked it over, and of course, Izuku agreed. So we had a private wedding just for our families, to honor her wish. The girls gasped. What? Why didn't you invite us? I'm so sorry. We wanted to tell you, but my great-grandmother wanted it to be private, so we agreed to fulfill her wish, Ibra said, tears welling in her eyes, making the girls feel guilty. Jairu reassured her, it wasn't your fault. Winter added, we were just shocked that you kept this secret from us. Nijair smiled, but we forgive you. Thank you, girls, Ibra replied. Kaminari said, we're sorry for your loss, Ibra. Why would you be sorry? Who did I lose? Ibra asked, confused. Mina clarified, girl, your great-grandmother. She's more alive than ever. After the wedding, Izuku revealed he could give her an immortality quirk, so now she looks like she's in her 20s. Ibra exclaimed. Everyone was stunned. Nanny, they chorused. I was just as shocked as you are. I smacked Izuku and asked for forgiveness for being violent, but I don't regret marrying him, Ibra said. The girls thought, of course you wouldn't. Jairu exclaimed, how could they hide this from us? Winter suggested, should we punish him? Nijair, with a playful grin, asked, oh, what kind of punishment? HNFFS, BLNDFLDS, or whips? At that moment, the girls' anger transformed into blushes of embarrassment, while the rest of the class turned red, including the boys. Yui stammered, Enar, that wasn't what we had in mind. Weiss added, We meant an actual punishment, you goof. Winter sighed, and do you have to say that out loud? Jair teased, calm down, you playful woman. Nijair giggled, whoops, sorry. Ida announced, dinner's ready, performing his signature hand chop motion. The girls sighed in relief, glad to move on from the embarrassment of the moment. After dinner, Class 1B returned to their dorms, as did Nijair. Mina asked, Your Highness, where will you sleep? If you want, you can take my room. Jairu raised an eyebrow, trying not to laugh. Your Highness? Isn't the word you were looking for, highnesses? Winter replied, Thank you for your concern, Ashido, but we would prefer to stay in Izuku's room. Toru offered, Oh, we can take you there. Jairu said, Great, you all take care of them while I head back to my room. Tsu asked, Aren't you going to help them? Jairu replied, They can manage. I need to pack my things for tomorrow. After saying goodnight to the girls, Jairu returned to her room while Mina, Toru, and Tsu guided the two royal girls to Izuku's room. Well, here we are, ladies. This is Izuku's room, Mina said, opening the door to reveal a beautifully decorated space, much different from what she expected, as Izuku's room had previously been filled with all might memorabilia. Holy, wow, is this really Izuku's room? Mina exclaimed. Toru remarked, It is, but why does it look like a girl's room? How did he fit all this stuff in here and make it look so spacious? Tsu noticed a note on the coffee table and, being her curious self, picked it up. Here's a note. Tsu handed the note to Winter, who read it aloud for the girls to hear. To Weiss and Winter, I figured you would stop by and want to sleep in my room, so I changed the decor to something that would fit your standards. With much love, Izuku, she finished, noting the kiss emojis. Mina sighed. In it, Izuku, now I'm curious about what it feels like to have someone take care of you. I want a boyfriend. Toru agreed, same. Winter and Weiss smiled at the note as they brought their luggage inside. Looking out the window, they saw the royal guards setting up their tent. We appreciate your help, Mina, Tsu, and Toru, but I'm sure you all are tired as well, so good night, Weiss said. Mina replied, It was our honor to serve you, and good night, your majesties. Tsu added, Yeah, good night. Toru waved, Have a good rest, bye. Time skip. The morning after the girls finished getting ready and waited for the guards to finish placing their luggage in the limo. Mina pleaded, Can't we come with you guys, please? Weiss responded, You can come, Mina, and you all can too. No one's stopping you. We'll be riding private planes, so your passports and tickets won't be a problem at all. Mina exclaimed, Really? We'll get our stuff ready then. Kirishima commented, You guys are awesome for allowing us to come. Class 1A, Class 1B, and the Big Three, Mirio and Tamaki, rushed to their dorms to grab their bags. Weiss was shocked, not expecting everyone to join them, but as she said, it wouldn't be a problem since she and Winter had come from different airports and brought 2 private planes. Winter asked, This won't be a problem, right? Nizu assured them, Not at all, your highnesses, but is it okay if All Might and Aizawa come as well? To look after the children. Weiss, Sure, but could they use your buses for a ride to the airport? Nizu, Sure. The 2 teachers mentioned already had their luggage, which raised an eyebrow from Jairu and Yui, who wondered if this was planned from the start or just a coincidence. Mina, girls, we're ready. Mina announced as the rest of the classes donned their street clothes, each carrying luggage. Jairu, Oh wow, why did you guys bring 2 pieces of luggage? It's not like we'll be there for a month. Toru, we came prepared. Can't wait to travel for free. Teachers Class 1A and B, Mirio, same. The students exchanged smirks with Aizawa. Aizawa, you heard nothing. Say a word, and you'll get a year of detention. Class 1A? Yes, Sensei. Jairu chuckled. You guys took like 10 minutes to get ready. I'm starting to think you planned this. Class 1A and B let out nervous chuckles. Mina, hee, of course not. We're just quick to pack. Like Sensei said, we have to be alert. You never know when a villain might strike. Kirishima, yeah, it's not like we knew you were riding private planes because you're royalty and that we planned to eat dinner early yesterday to have time to pack our bags or anything. And it's definitely not Mirio's plan. Class 1A and B and Mirio, Kirishima. Kirishima, I'm sorry. Nijire, that's suspicious, but get on the buses already. Weiss, oh right, you guys, when we arrive at the airport, please don't talk to us so the paparazzi won't swarm you. Winter, we'll meet you in front of the planes. The teachers already know which part of the airport it is. Class 1A and B. Noted. Mineta had a wild grin on his face, thinking he could finally be famous by saying he hung out with royalty in front of the paparazzi. Aizawa, get on the bus already. Time skip when they arrived at the airport. As expected, the 2 royals were swarmed by the paparazzi. Luckily, the rest of the group decided to board the bus, having had enough of the attention. The airport guards, along with the royal guard, quickly guided them to ensure they weren't harassed. No one wanted to start a war. Paparazzi 1. Princess Weiss, is it true that you are in a relationship with the Crowned Prince of Europe? Paparazzi 2. Princess Winter, is it true that you're expecting? Winter thought, where did they get this ridiculous assumption? Paparazzi 3. Why are you here in Japan? Mineta, I can answer that, Lady Paparazzi. I hung out with the 2 royals. Mineta said, sporting a crazy smile while the rest of the class looked anywhere but at him. Aizawa covered his face with his scarf, already tired of Mineta's antics, and continued walking, leaving him behind. Paparazzi 3. As if royalty would hang out with you. Look at yourself and look at them. You're a piece of trash while they are shiny and gorgeous like diamonds. Paparazzi, yeah. Mineta, why do girls have to be so mean? The 2 royals didn't know whether to be glad the paparazzi's attention had shifted to Mineta or to feel bad for him. Either way, they slipped away with their royal guards and made their way toward their private plane. Jair, glad you 2 made it quicker than usual. Weiss. Yeah, the paparazzi's attention was on Mineta, so we managed to sneak away. Mina. Of course he would try to take the spotlight. Winter. Should we wait for your student, Aizawa? Aizawa. No need, Your Highness. I asked Nizu to pick him up. I don't want a war between Japan and Europe because of that midget. He might try something worse here, so we decided to leave him behind. All Might. Indeed, we can't let him ruin the name of UA. Now, if you don't mind me asking, where's your private plane, Your Highnesses? Weiss. Oh, right there. Weiss pointed at two large jets, both gleaming in gold. Mina. Oh wow, so shiny and big. Toru. I can't believe I'll be riding a golden airplane. It's like a dream come true. Except I didn't dream this. The doors of the jets opened, and the attendants bowed to the two royals as the class walked in, still in awe. Kaminari. Man, this is the best day of my life. Ida. Now aren't you glad you decided to take a different path instead of following Mineta? Kirishima. Man, Ida, I didn't know you could joke. Ida, while doing his signature hand chop motion. I wasn't joking. Jairu. Alright everyone, take your seats and let's get this exciting ride started, yeah? Class 1A? Yeah. Aizawa. Be quiet already, I want to sleep. Chapter end. After the long plane ride, the plane landed at the airport, and the girls were shocked to see it crowded with reporters already waiting for them. This made the girls raise their eyebrows since the trip hadn't been announced publicly. Weiss. Alright, everyone wake up, we have arrived. Weiss clapped her hands to get everyone's attention. Some students smiled excitedly while others groaned, stretching their arms and getting ready to leave the plane. As the door opened, they heard a loud thud and turned to see none other than Minor Mineta, who was biting his luggage with tears in his eyes. Aizawa gave him an unamused look. Aizawa. Mineta, what are you doing? Mineta. The door closed when I was about to enter the plane. I had to cling to the engine. Aizawa, mumbling, idiot. Good thing he survived, or I'd be doing a lot of paperwork again. Winter. Well, good thing you survived. I guess? Before Mineta could reply, a butler and bodyguards approached to pick everyone up. Butler. Greetings, Your Highnesses. The crowned prince has tasked us with picking you up. The butler said as they all bowed to show respect to the royals. Weiss. Why can't he just pick us up, Simon? Weiss said, a little upset since Izuku had mentioned he would be there. Simon. That question will be answered once we arrive at the castle, Princess. He has prepared a huge surprise for you all. Simon said excitedly, earning raised eyebrows from the girls. Girls, what surprise? Simon. It wouldn't be a surprise if I told you now, would it? I suggest we head to the castle now before more reporters arrive. Jairu. Yeah, let's go. Jairu said with a groan as everyone left the plane and walked toward the airport exit, security guards clearing a path for them. The reporters spotted them and immediately began shouting questions. Reporter 1. Are you all engaged to the prince as well? Reporter 2. Princess Winter, is it true that you're expecting the prince's first child? Winter shot them a confused look and sighed heavily, ready to confront whoever started that rumor. However, she kept her mouth shut, knowing how much the press loved to twist words. Reporter 3. Look over here. The reporter said as he roughly grabbed Nijire's hand, which did not go unnoticed by the bodyguards, who quickly drew their weapons and aimed them at the reporter. The man immediately released Nijire's hand, and every reporter looked at him in fear as Simon approached, visibly furious. Simon, how dare you grab the hand of His Highness's girlfriend? Disrespecting the Crown Prince's girlfriend is the same as disrespecting the prince himself. Reporter 3, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Simon glared at him before nodding to the head of the bodyguards, who then took the reporter away. Simon turned his attention to Nijire, who was speaking with the other girls. Simon worriedly, Are you all right, my lady? Nijire, I'm fine, Simon. Really? No need to make it a big deal. Simon, oh, it is a big deal. Once the prince hears about this. Nijire, can you please not tell him? It's really not a big deal. Simon, I'm sorry, my lady, but I must report everything to the prince. Ibra, I also believe Izuku should know about this incident. We will be marrying him. It's not right to keep this from our future husband. Ibra said as everyone shielded their eyes from the bright light emanating from her. Simon, and I believe we should leave now before another incident like this happens. Weiss agreed. The reporters fell silent after the incident, continuing to film and take pictures without asking any more questions that might offend the girls. Time skipped to when they arrived at the castle. Everyone, except the girls dating Izuku, gasped at the beauty of the castle. Mina, with tears in her eyes, "It's so beautiful. If I can't marry Izuku, can they at least adopt me?" Kirishima, super manly. Zero, if you mean fancy by manly, then I agree. Imagine it as nighttime, with the surroundings illuminated by lights. Simon, would you like to walk toward the castle to enjoy the view, or would you prefer to drive straight inside? Everyone except the girls. Walk, please. Girls, drive. Mina, come on girls. I know you've seen the castle a million times, but can we please walk? I really want to enjoy this beautiful view. Jairu, I actually agree with Mina. It's a little windy, and I think it's perfect for a walk. Weiss, how about Winter and I drive while you all walk? I'm really tired and want to see my prince. Winter, same. Nijair, alrighty. Everyone except Winter and Weiss stepped out of the car, accompanied by Simon. As they looked around, they noticed a statue of a woman that seemed familiar to All Might. All Might, who's the statue? Simon, oh, that is Lady Nana. All Might, you don't mean Nana Shimura, right? Simon, if you mean Nana Midoriya, then yes. Nana Shimura's real last name is Midoriya. All Might stared at him in shock, thoughts racing through his mind. Why didn't Izuku tell me he knew my master? Why did my master lie about her last name? A realization hit him hard, and he grabbed Simon's shoulder. Simon, what do you mean is? Shouldn't it be, was? Simon gently removed All Might's hand from his shoulder, smiling. Simon, there are many things you don't know about the royal family, All Might. It's not my place to say, so you should ask the royal family instead. Simon called for everyone to stop taking pictures and head inside the castle since dinner was almost ready. Time skipped to when they arrived at the castle door. Everyone was panting heavily as they collapsed in front of the castle, earning a chuckle from Simon. Mineta, why did we agree to walk instead of drive? Toru, because we didn't expect it to be this far? Jairu, I should have taken that drive with Weiss and Winter. The door swung open, revealing a green-haired prince in jeans and a plain white shirt. The girls immediately rushed toward him, and he laughed. Izuku, I missed you girls too. What took you so long? Jairu, Mina convinced us it would be fun to walk instead of drive. Mina, hey. Izuku chuckled. How about you all get inside and settle into your rooms? James, please lead them to their rooms. James, another butler, bowed to Izuku and looked at the guests with a neutral expression. But before they could enter, Aizawa paused, sensing a familiar presence. All Might, what's wrong, Shota? Aizawa, I think she's here. All Might, who's here? Before Aizawa could respond, Miss Joke appeared in front of the door. Aizawa, oh no, what is she doing here? Ms. Joke, Shota, my friend. I missed you too. Aizawa, I have a restraining order against you. Ms. Joke, nice joke. That expired last year and only applies in Japan. Aizawa, problem child, what is this green demon doing here? Izuku, Ms. Joke, she's my aunt, I'm his aunt. Ms. Joke, now come on in, Shota. I'll make sure this trip of yours is full of romance and sweet moments. Aizawa, that sounds. Ms. Joke, amazing? Aizawa, like a nightmare. Izuku, and guess what, Dadzawa? Aizawa, what? Izuku, you'll be sharing a room with Aunt Ems. Aizawa's jaw dropped to the floor while both classes looked at them with amused expressions. Izuku struggled to contain his laughter. All Might cleared his throat to get everyone's attention. All Might, I think we should get inside, settle in, and take a shower. Izuku, dinner will be ready in 30 minutes. And Dadzawa, I'm just joking. Aizawa activated his quirk while observing Izuku, who was still hugging the girls. Aizawa, don't joke like that again, problem child, or I'll expel you. Izuku, we both know you can't, but sure. Izuku chuckled again as he kissed the girls on their foreheads. The girls then headed to their rooms while everyone else remained in the guest rooms. Aizawa was becoming increasingly annoyed by Ms. Joke, who was following him and throwing puns his way. All Might stayed behind. Izuku, I'm guessing you saw the statue? All Might, yes, care to explain, young Midoriya? Izuku, let's go to my father's study room. He's been waiting. It's time to tell you the real beginning of All for One and One for All, Toshinori. Somewhere at an airport in Japan. Mike, why didn't we just take the plane with them? Namuri, because Gran Torino leaves tonight, and Nizu said to go with him. Quit complaining, we get to ride a private jet for free and without those kids. Gran Torino, you're late. Namuri, you mean you're late, we've been waiting for you for an hour. Gran Torino, I'm not late, you guys are just early. Mike, but you said. Namuri, forget what I said. I think riding a plane with the kids would be better than with this annoying old man. Mike, well, at least you get to see the cinnamon roll. Mike said, not noticing Midnight's eyes were sparkling with interest. Namuri, yeah. Namuri replied, a playful smile on her lips, which sent a shiver down Mick's spine as he silently hoped for the cinnamon roll. All Might, so, mind explaining why there is a statue of the seventh user? Hisashi, transferring One for All to you was a mistake. All Might, how did you know about One for All? All Might said, taking a defensive stance while the father-son duo looked at him unamused. Izuku's grandfather, because both All for One and One for All came from our family. All Might, who are you? Izuku's grandmother, this guy really is just muscles. Izuku, that's my grandparents, Toshinori. Izuku said seriously while looking at the elderly couple sitting at the round table. Hisashi, now, why don't you take a seat and we'll explain everything? I'm sure you have questions you want answered. Still shocked by how serious Izuku was, All Might complied and took a seat beside him. Gramps, now, should we start on how All for One and One for All were created? All Might, I already know. Granny, shut your mouth and listen. Izuku's grandmother said, glaring at Toshinori, who shivered in fear, reminded of Gran Torino. Hisashi, the story that Nana told you. Most of it was not true. Gramps, as you know, quirks were created more than a century ago. The story began when a king had twin sons. He loved them both dearly. The oldest had a very powerful quirk, capable of stealing and destroying others, while the younger was born quirkless. The king didn't want his youngest son to feel left out, so he asked a doctor with a copying quirk to replicate the oldest son's quirk for the younger. The oldest loved his brother so much that he agreed, but the doctor had other plans. He copied the young prince's quirk and stole quirks from others, planting chaos throughout the kingdom. The king had to make a choice, let him go or sacrifice his people. All Might, so what did he do? All Might asked curiously while the family face-bombed internally. Granny thoughts, this foolish man. Gramps, he had to let him go. Years later, the firstborn created a quirk that required some people to sacrifice their quirks to make it. He gave this quirk to his younger brother, who became the first user. As you know, the first attempt wasn't successful, nor were his cousins. All Might, how is this related to One for All? Granny, weren't you listening? Granny said angrily, clearly frustrated. Hisashi, that quirk is One for All, Yagi. Hisashi said calmly while All Might looked at him in shock. Gramps, you see, every user of One for All is a member of our family, including Nana Shimura, who is my son's wife. Granny, every user is our family member, except All Might, me. Hisashi, now you're catching on. All Might, is this why you said passing One for All to me was a mistake? Gramps, yes, because One for All could ruin a user's life. All Might, it didn't ruin mine, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Granny, you're alone and afraid to date, it didn't ruin your life, my foot. All Might, how did you know? Gramps, let's finish this conversation tomorrow. All Might, my master died for this, and I'll make sure to train young Midoriya to make All for One pay. Gramps, you didn't tell him? Gramps said, looking at Izuku, who shook his head. Izuku, I didn't know how to tell him. All Might, tell me what? Hisashi, when a user dies because of All for One, they are transported here and given a second chance at life. All Might, what? Then that means, my master is here. Izuku, no, they're somewhere in Hawaii right now. Izuku, I love you too much. To live without you loving me back. I love you too much. Heaven's my witness and this is a fact. I know I belong. When I sing this song, there's love above love and it's ours. 'Cause I love you too much. I live for your touch. I whisper your name night after night. I love you too much. There's only one feeling and I know is right. I know I belong. When I sing this song, there's love above love and it's ours. 'Cause I love you too much. He sang as he kept playing the guitar, making his way down the stage to Weiss, while the other girls squealed and looked at her with jealousy. Heaven knows your name, I've been praying to have you come here by my side. Without you, a part of me is missing. Just to make you my own, I will fight. I know I belong. When I sing this song, there's love above love and it's ours. 'Cause I love you too much. I love you too much. I love you too much. Heaven's my witness and this is a fact. You live in my soul. Your heart is my goal. There's love above love and it's mine, 'cause I love you. There's love above love and it's yours, 'cause I love you. There's love above love and it's ours if you love me. So much. Izuku finished the song as Weiss kissed him, catching him off guard, but he kissed her back. The girls went wild, squealing and looking at Weiss with jealousy. Weiss, Prince, you know I love you just as much now and you reached your goal, right? Izuku, I know, my princess. They shared another kiss, making the girls squeal loudly as they laughed when their lips parted. The girls squealed again when the video ended. Kirishima, would you guys please stop squealing? You're making my ears. He wasn't able to finish his sentence as a wave of intense glares from the girls surrounded him. Zero, gee guys, Kirishima was just joking. Mineta, DMNU. He was cut off when the principal himself knocked him out. Nizu, sorry about him. He, forgot to take his medicine. All Might, anyway, young Jairu, would you please pick a song? All Might said quickly, eager to change the subject before the two royalties could ask what Mineta was about to say. Sure, All Might. Zuzu made a song dedicated to all the heroes, especially you and Aizawa-sensei. She made her way to the stage looking for the song. Jairu, this song is titled Hall of Fame. She handed Nizu the CD and returned to her seat as the video started. Izuku, this one is for the heroes out there, especially for my Dadzawa and Dad Might. As he said that, everyone snickered while the two teachers smiled proudly at being called Dad by their favorite student problem child. 7 people were seen lounging on a hammock chair, looking at the sunset with their sunglasses on and drinks in hand. 3rd, now this is life. 7th, after teaching 8th grade, I can say I deserve this vacation. 4th, if I had known life would be this good after facing All for One, I should have let him take me out sooner. 4th joked while his cousins looked at him unamused. 4th, tough crowd. Back with Izuku. All Might, so you're telling me, Izuku, that Nana is alive? All Might, I cried my eyes out for nothing. And why didn't she contact me? Granny, maybe she got tired of your antics and loud mouth. Hisashi, you're a user. As long as you're still alive, the past users can't contact you. Maybe in dreams it's possible, but with All for One still alive, it's not. The past users are forbidden to return to Japan since that is where they died. Gramps, let's continue this talk tomorrow with Gran Torino. For now, let us entertain our guests. They're waiting in the dining room. They all stood up and went to the dining room, where they heard Inko muttering about wanting to have grandbabies and the laughter of some students. When they entered the room, all eyes were on them. Thu, there you are. What took you so long? Izuku, sorry babe. We had an important matter that needed to be discussed as soon as possible. And I actually have a surprise for all of you. Izuku said excitedly while taking a seat next to Rias, who placed her head on his shoulder. When they heard a snap, they saw Inko holding a camera with tears streaming down her face. Inko, my baby grew up so fast. Izuku blushed. Hisashi, sorry for the wait. Now, why don't we eat? Hisashi said while the students nodded. In the middle of their dinner, they noticed the juice tasted rather unique and delicious. Ida, Midoriya, this juice is really good. Kaminari, yeah, it's super delicious. Setsuna, it's amazing. Izuku, oh, it's thanks to Psycho, who keeps giving me a bunch of blueberry juice every week. Izuku said enthusiastically while his classmates spat out their drinks. Aizawa just drank the whole juice, probably having a different understanding of blueberry juice. All Might looked at his food seriously, and his family was obviously trying their best not to laugh. Ida, how could you say such a thing at the dining table? Mineta, Midoriya, you lucky biasi. You already have every girl in the hero course and another one. Izuku, what are you guys talking about? How did it become wrong? I just said Psycho gives the most delicious and best blueberry juice ever. Ibra. Yes, I don't understand how this became wrong. Setsuna. Ibra. Momo whispered to Izuku and Ibra what their classmates probably thought of what he meant, and both Ibra and Izuku turned red. Izuku, I meant blueberry juice. Ibra, how could you guys have such a ridiculous mind? Ida, oh, why is there so much shouting? Mai said, entering the dining room while rubbing her eyes, clearly just waking up from a nap. When every student's attention turned to her, they were obviously shocked since she was seen dead in Izuku's music video. Girls, MAI? Mineta, aren't you dead? Siro, are you a zombie? Kaminari, will you be Min? Before Kaminari could finish his sentence, he was knocked out by Tsu's tongue. Everyone looked at Mai as if they had seen a ghost when Izuku's family laughed, and the girls began to recover from their shock. Jairu, how are you here? Mineta, zombie. But hey, who cares? She's still beautiful. Before Mineta could finish his sentence, he was silenced by Tsu's quick intervention. Tsu, my tongue would start to hurt if those perverts don't stop. Mai chuckled. You guys calm down, I didn't die. She explained everything to them, and most of them looked at Izuku, clearly amazed at how he had staged everything. After the little embarrassing moment and the explanation, dinner went smoothly. The girls and students who had arrived decided to sleep for the night since they were too tired. Momo, Mai, and Rias also chose to sleep in their own rooms rather than with Izuku, as they were quite exhausted from their activities earlier. Meanwhile, the teachers decided to have a chat to get to know the royal family better. Time skip midnight. It was midnight, and everyone was sleeping peacefully when Izuku suddenly felt his hands restrained and his eyes covered by a cloth. Someone was sitting on top of him. Izuku, who are you? Midnight, calm down, Izuku-an. Izuku, Midnight Sensei? Midnight, for tonight, call me Namuri, Izuku-an. She playfully teased him, her hands exploring his chest. Izuku, what are you doing here, Sensei? Midnight, hey, I told you to call me Namuri. Do you want to be punished? She got off him, playfully brandishing her whip to emphasize her point. Izuku, fine, what are you doing here, Namuri? Midnight, I asked the girls if I could join, and surprisingly they said yes. Izuku, I'm not surprised about that. But why did you restrain me? Midnight, can't you understand? I want you, Izuku-an, she said with a teasing smile, slowly removing his blndfld. Once it was off, Izuku noticed her playful outfit, which stirred something within him. Izuku broke free from the restraints effortlessly and flipped their positions, now on top of Midnight, surprising her. Midnight thoughts, how did he break out of the restraints so easily? I took those from a policewoman. Izuku, why didn't you say so, Namuri? I want you too, you know. Midnight, really? Izuku, you're my first heroine crush, but let's talk about that later. He leaned in and kissed her, his kisses trailing lower, making her gasp softly. Izuku, keep your voice down, the others might hear you. Midnight, I can't help it. Everything is new to me. Izuku paused, surprised by her admission. Midnight, I may be known as an 18+ heroine, but this is my first time. Don't hold back, just continue. She encouraged him, pulling him closer. Izuku, fine. He continued, his hands exploring as he tried to keep her comfortable. Midnight's breath hitched as he teased her, his kisses trailing lower. Just as he was about to take things further, he paused, wanting to ensure she was okay. Midnight, I'm ready, just go for it. As he moved, she whimpered slightly, and he kissed her to distract her from the discomfort. He made sure to check in with her, and when she gave him the go-ahead, he continued, their connection deepening as the night went on. Midnight, oh, keep going. Izuku playfully teased her, enjoying the moment they shared. Izuku playfully asked Midnight if she enjoyed their playful banter, giving her a light smack that made her gasp in delight. Midnight replied, oh yes, Izuku. Call me Daddy, he teased as he continued their playful exchange, causing her to blush. Daddy, I'm almost there, she exclaimed. Just hold on, he said, feeling the excitement build between them. As they shared this moment, he pulled back, both of them feeling a rush of exhilaration. Afterward, they lay side by side, both breathing heavily. Izuku noticed a whip Midnight had brought, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. We can use this tomorrow, he suggested, making her eyes widen in surprise. He chuckled and kissed her forehead as they drifted off to sleep. Time skip morning. In the dining room, Midnight entered with a few noticeable marks on her neck, her hair attempting to hide them. The boys in the room wondered what kind of villain she had faced, while Izuku's girlfriends exchanged knowing smirks. Inko beamed with pride, sitting next to Mike and Aizawa. Mike teased Aizawa, why do you look so tired today? Did you not get enough sleep? Aizawa whispered back, how could I sleep with Midnight's sounds echoing through the night? Mick's loud reaction drew everyone's attention, and Midnight turned bright red at the comment. Sorry, everyone, continue eating, Mike said, trying to regain composure. Inko chimed in, I hope you all slept well last night. The students replied in unison, we sure did. Thank you for everything. Inko smiled, it was our pleasure. All Might then asked, if I may, why are our co-workers here? Inko explained, these students were too much for just 3 teachers, so Nizu brought Mike and Midnight to help out. Anything else? Ida inquired, may I ask where Prince Izuku is? Before Inko could respond, the dining room door swung open, revealing Izuku, looking disheveled with dirt on his shirt, accompanied by Gran Torino, who was smiling. Izuku apologized for being late, and Setsuna couldn't resist making a joke. Hey Izuku, I'm green and you're green, why don't we make some baby greens? She quipped, causing some to drop their jaws in surprise. Izuku turned crimson, never expecting such a comment. What? He exclaimed. Inko added with a grin, I think you should consider it. Izuku and the girls shouted, Eh? Hisashi, trying to escape the awkwardness, muttered, Honey, how could you say that? Inko replied, well, she wants baby greens and I want grandbaby greens. The grandparents chimed in, and we want great-grand greens. Setsuna exclaimed, what have I done? Ibra scolded, watch your language. Winter added, look what you've started. Izuku slowly backed away as his family approached, playfully discussing the joys of grandchildren. Hisashi discreetly slipped away, hoping to avoid any further discussions about finances. Chapter end. 2 days before they returned to Japan. 7 a.m. Izuku was in his private study, going through his usual routine with the girls. Ibra was close by, and they were sharing a tender moment when a butler knocked on the door. Who is it? Izuku asked, slightly breathless. It's me, your highness, Robin replied. Ah, Robin, do you need something? Izuku managed to say while trying to maintain his composure. Robin continued, I was wondering if you know where Ms. Shiozaki is? One of the maids reported she hasn't been seen in her room, and we haven't seen Princess Winter and Princess Weiss around the castle either. At the mention of their names, Weiss and Winter, who were lounging in bed, exchanged glances with Izuku. He had made the study a comfortable space for them to visit him while he worked. The 2 girls, still in a playful mood, approached him with mischievous smiles. Shiozaki is in the church. Yeah, she's in the church while Winter and Weiss are at the mall, Izuku said, trying to sound convincing. Robin raised an eyebrow. At 7 a.m.? Just trust me and let me be for now, Izuku replied, trying to focus. Robin, still concerned, said, Nizu would like to speak with you, Prince. Izuku groaned, yeah, I just fell from the treadmill. That's like 200 times this week. Do you want me to call the doctor? Robin asked, worry evident in his voice. No need for that, I'll fix it myself. Just tell Nizu to meet me in 2 hours, Izuku said, hoping to wrap things up. Just then, Momo, Kyoka, Mai, and Rias entered the room, causing Izuku to feel overwhelmed. Robin, make that after lunch, please, he exclaimed. As you wish, Your Highness, Robin replied, leaving the room. Izuku took a deep breath, trying to regain his composure as the morning continued. Time skip 11 a.m. Everyone gathered at the front door of the castle. Inko informed them that someone special would be visiting today. Despite their desire to rest, the girls and Izuku were determined to be respectful and welcoming. They were waiting for the guest when Mina noticed several marks on Izuku's neck. Mina, Midori, what happened to your neck? Izuku's eyes widened as he instinctively covered his neck with his right hand, glancing at the girls who were giving him knowing smirks. Izuku, oh, I slipped while running on the treadmill. Before Mina could respond, the door burst open, revealing a girl with bright scarlet hair and a huge smile. She ran toward Izuku, who happily caught her. Pira, darling, I missed you. She clung to Izuku, burying her face against his neck, causing him to blush under the watchful eyes of his classmates. Thoughts in italics. Mineta, how does this lucky guy get to be with every girl he sees? Kaminari, Midoriya, you lucky guy. Izuku, I missed you too, babe. Why didn't you let me know you were coming? Pira, I was supposed to go with Winter and Weiss, but they left earlier than we planned. She continued hugging Izuku while glaring at the two sisters, who looked back at her seriously. Weiss, and we don't owe you an apology. Winter, you wanted to train, we wanted to go on vacation. We knew you wouldn't stop blaming us if we told you we were leaving earlier since you didn't want to miss any training. Pira sighed. Fair point. Speaking of training. She looked up at Izuku with pleading eyes, making him groan, knowing exactly what she wanted. Pira, can you help me increase my stamina, pretty please? Izuku looked at Pira and sighed in defeat. Izuku, fine. Pira, yes. I knew you couldn't resist my beautiful eyes. She giggled as she let go of Izuku, who sighed again while the class observed their interaction. Setsuna, who is she, Greenie? Pira cleared her throat and addressed the class. Pira, forgive me for not introducing myself, I'm my Princess Pira of Holland. Pira shot Mai and Rias a surprised look while the two girls smiled back. Pira, my Rias. She hugged them, leaving the rest of the class in shock. Class 1A and B, another princess. Pira, what? How did this happen? When did this happen? Inko, why don't we discuss this over lunch, my dears? Everyone nodded in agreement and headed to the dining room. The girls and Izuku explained everything to Pira, who looked amazed. Pira, so Mai didn't die? How could you let me cry so much? Winter, I think it's only fair since you were the one who suggested feeding them to our lovely pets. You kept it a secret from some of us. Pira, fair enough. Now, darling, didn't you say you'd help me increase my stamina? She grinned at Izuku, who groaned in response. Boys except Ida, Aoyama, and Shoto, lucky guy. Izuku, but it's still sunny. Pira, so? Let's go. Setsuna, wait. Can we join you guys? Mineta, yeah, let us join. Mineta said, drooling slightly. Pira, all right then. How about you, Weiss? Weiss, we'll pass. We're still tired after that shopping. The girls nodded in agreement. Winter, if you need us, we'll be in our rooms. The girls excused themselves while the rest of the students joined in to increase their stamina. An hour later, Mineta, Kaminari, and the other boys collapsed on the ground, breathing heavily after running around the castle's yard 5 times. Pira was already ahead of them, while Izuku encouraged his classmates to keep going. Mineta, when I said I wanted to increase my stamina, this isn't what I had in mind. Siro, what did you have in mind? Izuku caught up to them, having overheard part of their conversation. Mineta, an org. Izuku, Mineta, finish that sentence and I'll feed you to my dog. Mineta, as if a dog could scare me. Izuku, is that so? He stopped in his tracks and whistled. The ground began to shake as a huge animal with red and white coloring appeared, causing Mineta to panic. Class 1A and B, why does he resemble Todoroki? Mineta, why right as if I'm scared? I'm confident it's Todoroki, but you turned him into a dog. He shouted, his voice trembling. Just then, a certain half-and-half boy appeared beside him, eating cold soba. Upon seeing the giant pet, he dropped his bowl and approached it slowly, falling to his knees with tears in his eyes. Shoto, are you my ancestor? Class 1A and B, what? Izuku, what? Later, Izuku was in his study talking to Nizu while everyone else was outside. Izuku, so what do you want to talk about? Nizu, Japan's Hero Association wants to form an alliance with you, Your Highness. This made Izuku laugh. Izuku, what makes you think I'll agree to this? Nizu, because the head of the association is a relative of yours. Izuku, cut the nonsense, Nizu. I know that relative of mine was betrayed and removed from his position while we were here. The current head of the Hero Association was the one who betrayed my brother. Nizu, I must have underestimated your intelligence. Izuku, you did, and I can't believe you were fooled by that person. Nizu, what are you talking about? Izuku, December 1st, 20 years ago. Weren't you just a normal little mouse? Nizu, how did you know that date? Izuku, because that was the day the vice head of the Hero Association approached me and sent me pictures of you being experimented on. Nizu, what? Izuku, oh my, you poor thing, you had no idea? The mastermind of that experiment was the vice head. Nizu, don't play with my head, young man. Nizu slammed his little paws on the table, which made Izuku angry as he slammed his fists down. Izuku, you and I both know I'm not playing games. Don't be a fool, Nizu. And how dare you disrespect me in my own kingdom? Here's the proof. He threw the pictures at Nizu's face. Nizu analyzed the first picture, which showed the vice head with the scientists who experimented on him. The second picture showed his deceased mother being carried out from the lab, and the third one showed Nizu himself tied to a chair. These images awakened the hatred within Nizu, and tears began to pour from his eyes. Nizu, I'm considered the smartest creature alive, yet I was fooled by the person I thought saved me. I'll avenge you, my dear mother. I'll make sure they pay. Even if it's the last thing I do. I'll make everyone pay. Izuku, do you believe me now? Nizu, I do. Izuku, now let's turn the table, Nizu. Let me make an offer. Nizu, what would that be? Izuku, form an alliance with me. Nizu, what made you think I'll agree to this? Izuku looked out from his window, smiling as he watched Zuai trying to shake off Shoto, who clung to him like a koala, making the poor dog mad as he barked in frustration while their classmates laughed. Izuku, I want to make this world a better place. The moment I marry Stella, I'll have Japan, and I thought, why should I wait until I'm crowned? I can start making things better while I'm still a prince. You want revenge? I want a clean association. I don't just want to strengthen and expand my kingdom. I want my people to feel secure and not discriminated against. I don't want them to experience what the quirkless people in Japan endure. They deserve to feel loved, regardless of whether they have quirks. I want to prove that by addressing some of the smaller issues first. Nizu, nice speech, but I still have to think this through. Izuku, very well, you have until the end of the day. Nizu, fine. Nizu exited the room while Izuku sighed and sat down in his chair as a figure behind him moved and sat across from him. Hawks, are you sure we'll have him as an ally by the end of the day? Izuku, of course, Hawks. He'd be a fool to side with the people who killed his mother. Hawks, I guess you're right. By the way, Tuya said Enji is his to deal with. Izuku, I don't care, as long as we clean this up. Izuku pressed a button, and a hologram of the countries with red dots appeared. Hawks, you just want to make sure your future kids are safe. Hawks teased, making Izuku blush. Izuku, I guess you're right, but I also want equality. No one should have to endure what you, Tuya, or Nizu went through. Izuku recalled how his father had brought home the injured Hawks when he was 15, claiming to have saved him from an underground lab where the government experimented on him from birth, believing his quirk was rare and needed to be studied. Hawks, yeah sure. Hey, wanna grab dinner with me in Spain? My treat. Hawks grinned, making Izuku raise an eyebrow. Izuku, where'd you get the money? Hawks, I challenged Rumi to eat spicy chicken wings. Hawks chuckled, remembering Rumi's face when she found out he couldn't taste anything. It was an easy win for him. Izuku, the poor rabbit fell for your trap. Hawks, that rabbit has loads of money anyway. Wanna go? Izuku, sure. Izuku texted his girlfriends to let them know he would be hanging out with Hawks for dinner. Hawks and Izuku entered the portal to his study, both with flushed cheeks from the drinks they had. Hawks, man, that quail was amazing. Izuku, I know. We should definitely go back to that place again. Hawks, as long as it's your treat, I'm in. Izuku, since you paid today, fine. Hawks, sweet. Before Hawks could finish, they heard a knock. Nizu, young Izuku, it's me. I have made my decision. Hawks and Izuku exchanged wide-eyed glances as Izuku quickly pushed Hawks out of the window, making him mentally curse at Izuku. Izuku sat down at his desk, pretending to read some papers. Izuku, Nizu, come in. Nizu entered the room and sat in the chair across from Izuku. Izuku, so? What decision have you come to? Nizu, I'll form an alliance with you. Izuku, great, let's seal the deal with a handshake. Izuku grinned internally as he reached out his hand. Nizu, however, I have a condition. Izuku, oh no, here we go again. Izuku, and what might that be? Nizu, introduce me to every member of your cleaning organization. Izuku, what? Are you serious? Nizu, why? Is it too much to ask? Nizu said, clearly enjoying pushing Izuku's buttons. Izuku, very well, we have a deal. Nizu, great then. Nizu said cheerfully as he shook Izuku's hand when one of the secret passages in Izuku's study made a noise, causing Nizu to raise an eyebrow. Man, that trip was exhausting. Izuku, do you have any vodka here? The white-haired boy entered the room as if it were his own. Seeing him made Nizu's eyes widen as he looked at Izuku, who wore a blank expression. Nizu, why is a member of LOV here?